Network.
One of the very best players in the entire country.
Aiden Dudok, Mr. Electricity.
Amon with the carry, and he's in again for his second touchdown of the night. Dives for the pylon, and he's got it.
Touchdown, Norwin. Jackson Pond. Touchdown.
Westmoreland County High School football is on the air. This is 2024 Westmoreland County High School football, live on the Westmoreland Sports Network, presented by C. Harper Auto Group in Bell Vernon. The best price, every time, all the time. By Norwin Teachers Federal Credit Union in North Huntingdon, providing family-like services since 1952. By Westmoreland Drug and Alcohol Commission, making recovery a reality. By L&J Spiritwear, custom apparel, spiritwear, and uniforms for your favorite high school. By Sendell Volkswagen in Greensburg, we would love to meet you. By Independence Health System, expert care here. By D'Annunzio's Italian Restaurants, 4 decades of Italian home-style dining at its finest. By Smale Kia in Greensburg, reputation, value, experience. By Level Green Plumbing and Heating, start preparing for the winter season now with Level Green Plumbing and Heating. By The Collision Shop by Jason Mignon in Greensburg, changing the way your vehicle is repaired. By East Suburban Sports Medicine, they have the best care, hands down. By Bowser, that's the power of Bowser. By Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, see you at the store. By the Mike Reese Memorial Fund, advancing youth athletics from the ground up. And by Seton Hill University. Find your forward at Seton Hill University. Now, the Westmoreland Sports Network takes you live to the stadium for tonight's pregame show. Presented by C. Harper Auto Group in Bell Vernon on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Good evening and welcome into the Knights Castle in Norwin Knights Stadium as the Norwin Knights will play host to the Greater Latrobe Wildcats. Hello everyone and welcome into tonight's pregame show presented by the C. Harper Auto Group in Bell Vernon, the best price every time, all the time. Dave Franzak alongside Brian Brzezinski bring you tonight's action in this non-conference matchup, the last non-conference matchup for these two teams, at least before the bulk of the conference play will start. There is a couple non-conference games sprinkled in there, but tonight, a battle of two undefeated teams. The 2-0 Wildcats and the 2-0 Norwin Knights. And the Wildcats, Brian, coming off that win last week, won against the Plum Mustangs, a 32-18 win for the Wildcats. And Norwin coming off of an interesting game, I guess you could say. It was an entertaining game last week against the Kiski area Cavaliers, and one in which the Norwin Knights were dominated in the first quarter, absolutely dominated the second quarter. It was kind of a coin flip in the third quarter, and then Norwin took over to finish things out, to close things out in that fourth quarter. But like we said, we'll talk about this visiting Latrobe team first, Brian, and the last time this Latrobe team was 2-0 was back in 2022, but the last time they went 3-0, if they were to win tonight, was 2005. So it's been a long time since Latrobe has really seen some steady winning. And their quarterback tonight, John Wetzel, will try to do that and move them and elevate them into a 3-0 position.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to seeing this matchup here because there's a lot of reasons that Latrobe reminds me of back in my high school days, if you would. I grew up down the road from Latrobe, kind of looked up to them, if you would. Grew up in Blairsville. We had the orange and black colors as well. And I was fortunate to play quarterback and go on and, play in college. And then I had a good running back that went on to play in college as well, and Sam Izzy. And so now we see that tonight with John Wetzel being, a Division I recruit that's headed to Marshall. And then you got Alex Tash there right behind him as a running mate heading to Penn State. And so this is going to be exciting not only to see that talent, but to see the talent around them, because I do think, the stars are going to shine, but it's going to be, a unique play that someone outside the box makes or off record right now. And it's going to be that turnover, that special block, or that special play that's going to be a difference early on.
Brian brings up John Wetzel. He's 11 of 22 on the season with 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions. He's only thrown for 172 yards, so passing is not the forte for these Wildcats. While Alex Tash has 16 attempts for 227 yards on the ground. He's got 5 touchdowns, Brian, this year. And Wetzel also a dual threat quarterback, having rushed for 169 yards this year, and also has 3 touchdowns on the ground. So there definitely is the watchful eye out on that run game, and something that Norwin has, I think, improved at defensively is stopping the run.
Yeah, and that's one of my keys to the game is the line play on either side. Whoever dominates that line, I think, is going to have a significant advantage here, because you got a glimpse of it last night if you stayed up and you watched the Kansas City and the Baltimore game. You saw Derrick Henry, a powerful runner, just like you're going to see Alex Tash here today. And, if you let him get rolling, he's going to be trouble in the secondary to try to bring down. But the big thing is if your line can get a push and possibly, stall them out, don't let the wheels get turning too fast, that could be, an advantage for Norwin. So that line play is going to be big for the victory component, whether it's for Latrobe or for Norwin.
We'll cover Norwin here really quickly because we have 2 interviews tonight since we have the visiting Latrobe Wildcats here to Norwin Knight Stadium. We'll hear from Coach Ron Prady, and also we'll hear from Jackson Huss here tonight from Norwin. But Norwin coming in, as we said, sitting there at 2-0, the first time they've done that since the last time they went 3-0 and 2-0 back in 2014. So it's been quite some time for both these teams since they've seen that kind of record. Tristan Tavares has been a guy who has really matured over the last couple of years here, Brian, for the Norwin Knights, and has really stepped up in a leadership role from his freshman year to now his junior year. And he has some powerful runners on his side as well. Jake Sinchak and Jackson Huss. Don't forget about Gio Rotralf as well. They're all guys that will contribute. And we talked about them last week on the air, how Jake is that guy that is going to put his shoulder pads and go between the tackles, where Jackson is definitely quicker on the outsides, and Gio is kind of a little combination of both. We saw him kind of bowling ball his way into his first varsity touchdown last week for the first score for the Norwin Knights last week. So I think the run game, well, let's hope the run game is big for both these teams tonight, because we could have some weather implications later on in this game. We're watching the radar right now, and looks like we got some thunderstorms moving again, maybe around halftime here tonight. So, Brian, since we're kind of hurrying the game on, we're going to hurry this Westmoreland Sports Network, the C. Harper Auto pregame show up a little bit here, because we're going to have to hear from a couple players here, or a couple interviews here today. So we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to hear from both Norwin's Jackson Huss and head coach for Greater Latrobe, Ron Prady, here on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Our top story tonight, C. Harper is celebrating their 40th anniversary.
That's right, Cassius. C. Harper has been providing outstanding automotive service to their customers and community for 40 fantastic years.
Wow. What's the forecast for the next 40 years, Uncle Casey?
There's a 100% chance of providing the best price every time, all the time, for years to come.
Visit any C. Harper dealership to get in on the celebration today.
It's just that easy.
That's a wrap. Nice work, everybody.
We continue here on the C. Harper Auto pregame show before tonight's matchup between the Norwin Knights and the Greater Latrobe Wildcats. I'm Sean Myers, now joined by Ron Prady, the head coach of the Cats. They are 2-0 after a 32-18 victory last week against the Plum Mustangs. And Ron, first off, looking back to that win against Plum, I know that was a pretty competitive game. You played against a good team in the Mustangs. What stood out that allowed your team to get that W?
I think probably the quick start that we had. We executed very well on our first two drives and scored and got a quick 3 and out. And to get that momentum early was probably key for us, because after that it was kind of a little bit of a, we bogged down a little bit on offense and didn't convert on some drives. So I think the quick start was key for us.
I know a guy who helped part of that start offensively was Alex Tash, and he's a guy who's gotten headlines for his play at linebacker for years now, but 158 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground. It seems like his offensive game has emerged even further here in 2024. What's he doing so well as a running back?
Well, Alex has been phenomenal on both sides of the ball, but certainly this year more so than last, we're using him a lot more on offense. Due to the fact that he's healthy now. And last year we went into the season and he was, had the hip injury, so we chose to not overuse him on offense and let him be fresh on defense. But really, as a running back, I think there's a bunch of things. He's so big, he's long, he's deceptively fast. He is able to run away from people, but he's really tough to tackle. With the size and the strength that he has, he gets under his pads when he needs to, and is really a physical runner.
One area where I'm sure you'd like to clean up a little bit from a week ago is the 2 interceptions thrown by John Wetzel. He did have over 100 yards and a score on the ground, threw for a touchdown as well, but how do you make sure that those interceptions don't loom large again?
So sometimes, to the naked eye, the casual fan watching, we blame all these on the quarterback, and actually one of them wasn't John's fault. The other one, Plum made a great play to actually, there was a screen, and one of the defensive linemen got a hand on it and was able to bat it in the air, and another kid came down with it. So John, for the most part, for 2 years has been very effective with limiting turnovers, and I think that we'll see that start to happen now. He understands he's got to be more careful, and he'll do that.
After your defense got a shutout week 0 against Connellsville area, it was certainly tested by the Mustangs. Plum did get a late score to make the margin a little bit slimmer in terms of the victory. How did you evaluate your play on that side of the football?
So we gave up that one first half drive where, credit them, they put a sustained drive together and ended up scoring. Aided by a couple penalties on our part that certainly didn't help. But the turnover I talked about, the interception, the screen pass was right before half, and that was in our own end, and we ended up holding them to a field goal there, which is what you ask out of your defense. So I thought we did a great job there, and then we made pretty much a wholesale substitution at the very end of the game, and they ended up hitting that big 80-yard play to a very talented receiver. So overall, I think we were effective on defense. What we didn't do is create a bunch of turnovers, which is what we aimed to do. I think we got 1, and that was it. So that's going to be key for us going forward, is trying to get more turnovers.
Well, that defense certainly will be tested tonight against a very good Norwin team. The Knights have made some headlines off to a 2-0 start, including a victory against Penn Trafford at home to open the season, and then last week a gut-check victory at Kiski area. When you look at Norwin on film, what jumps out about the Knights in 2024?
I just think the confidence that they're playing with, and Coach Brown and that staff has obviously got those guys believing that they can win and play with anybody, and they've proven that these first 2 weeks. So I just see a difference in their body language, the way they carry themselves, and that confidence that they have in themselves and each other.
I know certainly last year when they had offensive success, primarily it came through the air. The passing game was prolific, and Tristan Tavares, their quarterback, was the player who orchestrated all of it. This year, he's been effective passing, but he's been just as dangerous running. And overall, it seems like the running game has been the greatest strength for Norwin. So how do you try to slow down this much different looking offense from a year ago?
Yeah, well, first off, I'd like to say I give the Tavares kid a ton of credit. It seems to me like he's sacrificing his individual passing stats for wins and putting the team above himself. And you gotta love a kid like that. So he's a heck of a player. We know what he can do with his arm, but this year I think he's showing his running ability more, and it's been hugely effective for them. Along with the couple running backs they do have who are also good runners, he's certainly another threat on the ground.
I know last year, as I mentioned, they were able to put up a lot of points, but they usually resulted in losses because the defense was giving up even more. But they've been better than solid in that regard this year. 14 points allowed against PT, 21 last week against Kiski area. How has their defense taken a big step forward?
They're bigger and they're stronger than they have been in the past, and I think that's a big thing for them. And I'm sure they looked at it going into moving up to 6A. We got to get bigger, and they've certainly done that. I think they're more physical. They when you turn the tape off, there's 6-8 guys around the football on defense, and that's how you win. And they've done that so far, and it's going to be a heck of a fight tonight.
What are the biggest keys to walk out with victory?
Well, I'd love to see us get off to a great start again, and I know that doesn't seem to faze Norwin being down, but still, we'd rather play from ahead, and just matching their physicality, how big and strong and tough they are up front is going to be key.
Lastly, your team is 2-0. They are 2-0. So you know that the conference is on the horizon. How big would it be to win this game tonight and improve to 3-0?
By no means do I think it's do or die. I mean, we've still got 7 games left after this. But we talk about you're only guaranteed 10 games a year, and you might as well go out and play your best for those 10. And that's what we hope to do tonight.
Well, Ron, we are looking forward to it. Should be a great game, an all-Westmoreland County clash, and it's highly anticipated, to say the least.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Sean.
That's Ron Prady, the head coach of Greater Latrobe. We'll take a break and continue after this on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices. Located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart, Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
Welcome back into tonight's pregame show. Joining me tonight now is going to be senior for Norwin football team, Jackson Huss. And Jackson, thanks for joining me here. First and foremost, it's your senior season. So just take me through how senior year's going so far. I know it's pretty early. We're only going into the third week here this week, technically only week 2, but just take me through how you think things are going for you so far here as senior year.
Well, summer football, it was great. We got a lot done during the summer. Lifted a lot. Camp was great too. And last year with the injury, I wasn't able to play the first couple of weeks. So being healthy and being able to play is fantastic.
You talk about that injury, and I obviously last year's a year you probably want to forget. Only getting less than 100 yards rushing, less than 50 yards receiving. But so far this year, you're already almost at your yard totals from last year. And as a core, I was looking at the stats earlier this afternoon. Between you, Tristan, Jake, and Gio, the 4 of you last year had 399 total yards for the season rushing. At this point in the season, you guys are at 405 yards rushing. I don't know if you knew that, but what's the difference so far this year for you guys as a backfield to be able to find those running lanes and to be much more productive?
Well, I think this year our line has definitely improved, and we've started to build our confidence. Last year was, it was a big passing show for our team, but this year we really made the running back room an emphasis, and we've just been building our confidence.
You have Tristan who's coming back, which has to be a huge plus for you guys. And it's been fun to watch him mature. Now you're older than him, and he's been a starter since his freshman year. So just talk about that process that you might have seen with him and growth from freshman year to now being a 3-year starter.
Yeah, well, since he started freshman year, he's had a lot of experience, and me joining last year, I've been able to see him grow from last year to this year. It's been a big improvement. We're lucky to have him, and he can really do it all. He can pass, he can run, and to have that weapon on our team is fantastic.
What makes him such a good leader?
Well, when we're out there, he takes control. He does quarterback things. He just leads the team. He leads the line. He gets people going. He makes plays.
Now you're listed as a safety also. I guess defensive back, if you will, on the defensive side. But it feels like, at least last week against Kiski area, it felt like we were saying Jackson Huss on almost every tackle, or you were always around the ball. Just talk about really filling in the shoes of Jackson Pons from leaving from last year. I know you played a little bit with him last year back there when you were healthy, but being able to just take over that role. I mean, talk about your defensive play this year, because it's been pretty impressive, and we're only on week 3.
Well, there's some big shoes to fill, and I really looked up to them last year, those two, Denny and Pons. And what I've really been working on is physicality and just being focused, knowing what I'm doing, and getting my other safeties and DBs to join, communicate.
Now this is year 2 under head coach Mike Brown, and I know Coach is back there listening in a little bit, but so don't be afraid to speak your mind. But hey, what's it like playing for Coach? I know and I don't want to take anything away from Coach Brzezinski. He was a great guy, great coach, but Mike's a little bit younger. So what's it like playing for Coach Brown and just the development that it's been, especially from last year to this year? It's been a huge jump in almost every category. So what's it like playing for Coach Brown?
Yeah, it has been a huge jump, especially because, Coach Brown brought a new culture that hasn't been at Norwin before. He got our team to buy in to the program. And now, especially this year compared to last year, everyone's bought in, everyone's on the same page. And we could say we're playing as a team now.
So just to kind of piggyback off of that, both Norwin and Latrobe, your opponent here tonight, have been turning a lot of heads around the WPIL. What if for someone that's coming into this broadcast night watching Norwin for the first time, what is your message to them about this 2024 Norwin Knights football team?
Whatever Norwin you heard from the past, they're not there anymore. We have a new Norwin this year. We have a new team. We have new goals. We're ready to take on challenges, especially Latrobe coming in for our home game. And we're ready. Be ready for a show.
Talk about Latrobe there a little bit tonight. From a player standpoint, usually I like to ask the coaches what they see from a coaching standpoint in Latrobe. But as a player, what do you see tonight against Latrobe? And what can you do to play at your top game?
It's really just stopping the run game, being physical. They're going to come in here thinking they can beat us and beat us up, but just staying physical and making our reads, keeping them, inside the pocket, minimizing all the damage, and we'll do good.
We talk about that offensive line a little bit, and you have a couple of veterans up there now, and Evan Archer and a Colin Bruno and a couple other names along there. Fortunately, losing to Max Fearley this year in game 1, but just talk about the brutality that has been, because I think it was on display in that first week with Penn Trafford, especially on Jake's touchdown there late in the game. Just talk about that group, and it seems like they've been closer than ever. You're on the team. From a spectator's point of view, it looks like they're closer than they've ever been in the 14 years that I've been doing football for Norwin.
Yeah, well, really, what they're doing right now started back in January. They've been lifting a ton during the winter and spring and summer. And they've also bought into like everything with the run game, knowing that they can actually get stuff done. They can get to their blocks and be physical. They learn how to be physical.
You guys run as a trio, well, a quartet, if you will, if you include Tristan in there as well. With that rotation, how much does that benefit you? I mean, you seem to be more of the high-speed guy, a little bit more shifty, like to get outside. Jake likes to seem to put his shoulder pads down and go right in between all the, right up the middle. And Gio seems to be a little combination of the two of you. But being able to stay fresh like that, how has that helped your game this year?
Oh, it's helped a lot. It's helped a lot, especially on defense. Whenever it's a long drive and me and Sinchak are tired, we can put G in there. Or whenever we made a long drive on offense, like in there for 5, 6, 7 plays, and we can switch out. And it's also great when we have our 2-back personnel in, because then we can really get stuff done.
Is that fun to have the 2-back personnel? Because that's not something you typically see in high school football.
Yeah, it's I've been looking for it. I heard about that back in January. We were going to put that in, and I got excited.
So a little kind of side note, too, you are returning kicks, or at least you did last week against Kiski. That's got to be fun, but that's also going to be kind of a little scary. Just talk about being on the special teams there and returning kicks. I mean, two of the faster guys on the team back there. That's got to be fun too.
Yeah, it's fun, especially with Sinchak. We both like to get after it, and returning kicks just in general. I mean, you could say being on special teams and starting, but that's just a lot. I like returning. It's fun.
Do you guys have like a healthy relationship or a healthy competition amongst both kick returning and playing in the backfield, between, I guess, all 4 of you? Yeah,
well, me and Jake Sinchak, we play baseball together too. So we've always been on each other, like through the spring, through the winter, through the fall. And being able to play with him, especially both of us at back and returning, it's just fun to compete against each other and make each other better.
I want to go back to that week 0 game here a little bit, the game against Penn Trafford. You guys came out like gangbusters, and you kind of put the first punch right in their mouth, and you did what a lot of teams don't historically do, and that was run against Penn Trafford. Take me back to that game. Take me through that game and what was going through your head going into that game and really the outcome of that game.
Well, going into that game, you could tell, especially after school, we do.
All right, well, we're trying to get things kicked off early here tonight with the weather implications potentially coming in here. So we're going to cut Jackson's interview off a little bit. We thank him for joining us here, and we thank you for joining us here on the Westmoreland Sports Network and part of the C. Harper Auto pregame show here on the Westmoreland Sports Network. C. Harper, the best price every time, all the time, every time. There we go, Brian. Kickoff here, and Norwin will receive the kick. They're in their new all-whites uniforms, and Jake Sinchak will just let that ball flutter over his head and go into the end zone, and the Norwin Knights will start with the ball at the 20-yard line, and that's where we'll see Tristan Tavares, who has had a good season so far. He's got 105 yards on the ground and 316 through the air, Brian. Had a pretty nice showing against Penn Trafford a couple weeks ago. Not too bad last week against the Cavaliers. Made some big plays when he needed to, and as the Knights unveil their all-white uniforms at home for the first time, and Tavares will go shotgun.
It's going to be interesting to see if they change anything with the game plan given the weather.
Right now we don't have any rain. It is very humid, as there was a little bit of a rain fall on my way here about 5 o'clock. He wants to throw to start, and it's well over his head, intended for Jake Knight there. So Tavares will start 0 for 1 tonight.
Yeah, and so it looked like they were running like a double hitch combination type thing, and just on opposite pages, if you would, or that ball sailed on. But fortunately for Norwin, that just goes out of bounds, because that's a pick. That could be a pick 6 right to start off.
Initially, I thought that was going to go to Zach Pauling with the way that ball sailed. 2nd down and 10. It's going to be a handoff to Sinchak. He's trying to find some blockers here on an end around. Is actually going to lose yards on the play. In there in the backfield, making that stop for Greater Latrobe was Andy Tash.
Yeah, Andy does a nice job right next to his brother there, because his brother's keeping contained, and then he does a nice job just filling in there and negating any gain there. And so nice play by Latrobe to go ahead and keep him behind the sticks.
Norwin starts out 2 plays in, -1 in the yardage. Tavares looks to throw on third down. Steps up, has time, has a man streaking down the middle and overthrowing Cooper Wilson. And that'll be a quick 3-and-out for the Knights offense. They went only backwards, and they'll kick the ball away here.
Yeah, you might see one of those things that they used to refer to as like the Brett Favre effect. Brett was known for coming out of the game and just throwing heat right out the gate. And so, Tristan's first 2 passes, one sailed over the head and one just a little bit too long. So I'm sure he'll settle down and get everything back together. But you can see Norwin maybe trying to throw the ball early before the rain comes in, but unable to get any production on that one.
John Wetzel and also Andy Tash, and the ball will go to Tash. He doesn't go for the fair catch, and he's met immediately by Potter Brzezinski and will go absolutely nowhere, but will have good field position for Latrobe to start this game.
Yeah, it was one of those punt situations that, it was good coverage and good height on it, and sometimes as a gunner you lose focus because you might think, hey, there's no way he's catching this one, and Potter actually did a nice job there staying with it and was able to bring him down pretty early.
We talked about John Wetzel as the starting quarterback here for Greater Latrobe and Coach Ron Prady's offense. In the backfield with him, you'll hear the name Alex Tash thrown around a lot. He is a big-time rusher, and we talked about him a little bit in the pregame. And they're going to go keeper to the right. Getting out of the tackle, has some room, up to the 40, to the 35, and pushed out of bounds by Huss. Up across the 35, near the 30 to the 33.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that, for Latrobe, you want to see. They were able to collapse the end. There was no contain right there, and using his speed. You saw that Wetzel was going and able just to turn that corner and, able to get the first down, and we had to rely on the secondary to just get it out of bounds.
John Wetzel is their second leading receiver, and he'll motion out into a wide receiver position this time. Tash is the lone set. Well, he's the deep back, we'll say, in this Wildcat offense. Tash has some room, 15-20, gets a stiff arm, 10-5, stretching, and just shy. Must have stepped out at the 4-yard line, but a heck of a run for Alex Tash, and puts the Wildcats in the red zone.
Yeah, and so right off the bat, Latrobe doing a nice job just opening up holes, and as we talked about before, if you give Alex Tash a little bit of a seam, he's going to make you pay for it, and he was untouched right up to the secondary there, and unfortunately for Tash, he steps out just barely nipping the sideline there, but right now Latrobe rolling with good field position, good possession here to start off.
2 plays, 47 yards so far, and it's first down and goal from the Norwin 3. Tash remains in at the Wildcat. Goes right side and goes into the end zone. Touchdown Latrobe. They're the ones to strike first. 10:21 remaining here in this first quarter.
Yeah, and that, just is exactly what they want to do. They want to go ahead and they want to establish their own run game, and why not? And you have 2 Division I athletes, and each of them were contributors in that drive. And right now, Norwin's going to have to try to find a way to try to negate that running game that Latrobe just dominated with that first drive.
Roman Augustani will attempt the point after. It's a low snap. He does get it up and through. Latrobe leads at 7-0, 10:21 remaining here in the first quarter on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
East Suburban Sports Medicine Center, Western Pennsylvania's #1 physical therapy practice since 1984, is always offering same-day or next-day appointments for all new patients. With 8 convenient locations and extensive therapy services, ESSMC offers the best care anywhere, hands down. Call 412-856-8060 or visit ESSMC.com to schedule today. ESSMC Physical Therapy. Your health, your decision.
Drive like a champion with Bowser Chevrolet of Monroeville. You're always on the winning team with Bowser Chevrolet. Visit BowserChevrolet.com 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and get the power of Bowser in your hands. Customize your payments, apply for financing, get a value for your trade and more with the Bowser Express Store. See the full lineup of Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs at BowserChevrolet.com. Bowser Chevrolet, where the power of Bowser is yours.
Welcome back. It's a 7-0 lead for the Latrobe Wildcats. They ran 3 plays on that drive. It took all of 45 seconds, Brian, and they averaged 16.7 yards per play there. Ended up going for 51 yards, should be.
Yeah, and right now we're at the 10-second mark of the play clock, and it looks like a little bit of communication issues there with Norwin here to start the second drive.
Handoff is going to go to Huss up the middle. He's going to get up to about the 25-yard line, so give him 3 on the carry.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, does Norwin try to get back and try to establish the run, or are they going to continue to mix it up? Or we'll see, but nice hard run there by Huss.
They'll go no huddle, and it'll be a 2nd down and 7. Hand off again to Huss. No, Tavares is going to keep it himself, find some room up to the 30. He spins off a tackler for the moment. It's going to get up near that lead stick. He needed to get 7. I think they're going to give him 7 and a 1st down.
Yeah, and a nice job by Tristan there being able to make the read and then make enough yardage there to get the 1st down, because he had a battle there for the end. Nice job lowering the shoulder, finishing the run.
Going quick again. Handoff this time, Huss. Huss wants the left side, finds the edge, gets up near the 40, hit hard going out of bounds. Laying the hammer there was Nick Bauer.
Yeah, a nice finish of the hit right there. But Huss, he got his good yardage out of it, which was nice because we were able to seal that edge, and then Huss being able to use his speed there to turn the corner.
Huss will come out of the game. It was Wetzel with the tackle, not Bauer. Handoff goes to Gio. Ralph had some room for a minute. He needed 2.
Yeah, and so now Norwin showed this formation last week where they have, the dual running backs back there, and so you can have one hit in the gut and then one working the option with Tristan, and Tristan gets a chance to make the option, and good delivery there by Gio on a nice run.
This time it's going to go to Sinchak up the middle, carrying a defender across the 50, and we'll get up to, they'll mark him down to the 47.
Yeah, and again, this is a little bit more like what Norwin probably wants to do. Just chip away at it, and right now Latrobe's got to try to find a way to make a play and get them behind the schedule.
Sinchak again dances out of a tackler for the moment. Is going to get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe gain a yard on the play. We'll see where they spot the ball.
Yeah, and one of the things that's jumping out at me right now is the fact that Latrobe does a nice job. They're able to balance their defense. They got a Division I kid at the field into the boundary, and there's a lot of speed there. So hitting them up the gut might be the best way to try to attack them.
3rd and short. Shotgun again. Sinchak tries to get outside, is not going to get where he needed to go. You're going to gain about a yard out of the play, though.
Yeah, and it's in high school, you're in that area where, you go for it or, you punt it down and give Latrobe some credit right there. Not only did they get the stop, but they didn't fall for the quick snap that we've been seeing has been effective. It's been on film now, and I'm sure they were coached up. Hey, don't go for the hard counts, especially in like those situations where, 5 yards is going to give them the 1st down.
Took the thought right out of my mind there. Norwin has been great at that hard count. Got several times a jump off. Quick throw is Leonard, and it's tipped around and incomplete, so it'll be a turnover on downs for Norwin. And a decent drive there is going to stall out right at midfield, and this is about the same territory where Greater Latrobe started with their last drive, their only drive, and just ran down the field in 45 seconds.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if they were both, again, on the same page there. I saw both of them look at him, and it's almost like Tristan was anticipating him possibly breaking out a little bit, and meanwhile Josh broke in. So either way, we got to try to get the passing game on par there if you're Norwin. And nice job holding their ground there for Latrobe and getting a stop.
Wetzel looks to throw, now will fake it and run the ball. Spins out of a tackle. Sinchak still trying to grab him. Gets him by the jersey up to the 45. And another good gain there by Wetzel.
Yeah, and Wetzel just shows you just pure effort right there. Nice job, because Norwin did a nice job of getting him in the backfield, but Wetzel is not going to be denied, and he's probably not going to be brought down many times today by one tackler. So defensively, you're going to have to try to look the gang tackle, and because right now Wetzel and Tash are running hard and they're running strong.
They have 4 total plays ran for 59 yards and a touchdown. As here's their 5th play. Rolling out, Wetzel wants to dump it off and is going to complete it underneath. Haas is there, and Knight will come up to assist him on the tackle as it's complete to Drenovich for a gain of 1.
Yeah, and just a nice play right there on Norwin's side of being able to go ahead and there's that idea of like just gang tackling. Both we had 2 defenders there and able to go ahead and pinpoint the runner there and minimize that gain. But it's going to be a 3rd and short situation here. So.
And Drenovich is a bigger body too, 5'11", 215 at an H-back position. 3rd down and 1 for Greater Latrobe. They lead at 7-0 here on the Westmoreland Sports Network. Izzy McMahon goes across the formation. Instead, it's going to be a handoff up the middle, and it's going to be Alex Tash, who needed 1 and is going to get 5.
Yeah, nice hard run right there. And when you're in those 3rd and shorts, you can pretty much tell the other side, what you're going to do. And Tash is not going to be denied right there. So nice job just running behind his pads and just finishing that run for the 1st down.
Tash will come out and we'll get a breather.
Yeah, another nice drive here by Latrobe.
Yep, so far. Wetzel will fake the handoff, has a lot of room to the 35, gets to the 30, has open space, 20, 10, 5, touchdown. Greater Latrobe, 39 yards for the senior quarterback. And just like that, Norwin is down 2 scores.
Yeah, and just a nice job. Wetzel did a great job being able to run right there. Give some credit to the blocking, not only with the line, but the second level blocking as well. You had receivers, locked up really nice right there. And so Wetzel using his speed and vision just to go ahead and find that seam and get into the end zone.
Augustoni's kick is up and good, and it is a 14-0 lead for Greater Latrobe. 5:26 remaining here on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
D'Annunzio's has been making family favorites for almost 50 years. Of course, we have our classic pizza, pasta, and chicken dishes, but we also have luncheon and dinner specials selected by our kitchen staffs. We welcome you to join us at any of our 3 locations, Jeanette, Monroeville, and Latrobe. We're open 7 days a week. D'Annunzio's is on social media too. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram and visit our website, D'AnnunziosRestaurant.com.
Having plumbing issues? Level Green Plumbing and Heating can help. Level Green Plumbing and Heating specializes in drain and sewer service, water heater installation and repair, excavating and trenching, and if you have frozen pipes this winter, they can get that water flowing again. Level Green Plumbing and Heating is open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, with emergency service available anytime. Call 412-372-5544 or visit lgph.com.
5:26 remains here in the first quarter for Norwin. They trail it. It's 14-0 after 2 quick strikes by Greater Latrobe.
Yeah, and if you're Latrobe, you got to be pleased with the start of this game because, you came out and you wanted to establish a line. You've done that. You wanted to establish a run game. You've done that. Now you're in a really good position because, you don't have to work outside of your game plan. You can stick to it.
We got a quick stoppage here on the snap, and I think Coach Brown's going to take a timeout. We'll take a quick timeout here as well. 14-0 Latrobe.
At Smale Kia, we know that winning takes hard work, dedication, and a commitment to excellence. By sponsoring Shining Stars, we'll select 2 teams each season to help fund their booster programs. Rewarding their hard work, athletic progress, and community service is an investment we're proud to make. Congrats to our previous Shining Star winners, and good luck. And speaking of excellence, lease a 2024 Kia Forte LXS for only $99 a month from Smale Kia.
Back after that quick timeout by Norwin. It's a double back set for the Knights here to start this drive. Handoff is going to go to Jackson Huss, trying that left side. Can't find a block by Leonard. And is going to be ridden down for a short gain, maybe no gain. We'll see where that spot is, and it looks like it is going to be a no-gainer.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I like what I saw out of Bronson right there, number 44 for Greater Latrobe. Did a nice job just disrupting that play from the get-go. Didn't allow Huss to attack that edge, made him belly that edge, and he just, was able to minimize the gain there. But nice job by the big man up front.
So they did mark the ball for a gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. Tavares wants to throw. Looking downfield has Cooper Wilson. He's hit a little bit before, but I think they're going to call a non-catchable ball, and it'll go incomplete. So Tavares starts this game out 0 for 4.
Yeah, and had an opportunity there because, you saw Cooper coming across open. Just another one just sailing on him. But give the line credit. The last play we talked about, Brunson being able to get a push, but Norwin did a nice job right there of being able to go and give Tristan a clean pocket. Just got to try to, step to the ball and get that shoulder down to drive it and get it a little bit lower there on Cooper.
3rd down and 8. Norwin is 0 for on 3rd downs. Low snap. Gets it. Goes across the middle, and it's caught, and there goes the first down on a 3rd down play for Norwin. It's a pass complete to Jake Knight.
Yeah, and Jake does a nice job of being able to run that in lane and knowing where the depth is. And right there, again, you see Andy Tash, though, almost able to jar that ball loose. So nice job by Latrobe defensively, but a good play by Jake.
Hand off to Sinchak, but he's going to be stood up immediately as he crosses the line of scrimmage, maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, and they're going to call no gain.
Yeah, and rightfully so, right? Norwin has a big play, and then, on the other side, Latrobe's going to come right back with a defensive big play there by, their Division I player in Tash. Nice job filling the hole and keeping that to a minimal gain.
That pass completion was the longest play of the night for the Knights of 13 yards. As it's 2nd down and 10. Quick underneath, it's going to go to Knight up to the 40-yard line. Dances forward. I think they ended up giving Huss 1 yard on that carry, Brian, so we'll call this one a gain of 6.
Yeah, good read by Tristan. So they motion out, and he basically has a decision. He's reading Tash right there. If Tash goes with the flare, then you're hitting Knight behind there. Knight did a nice job of settling down in the hole, and Tristan delivers a good ball. Seems like he has good chemistry with Knight, and keep in mind, Knight has a little bit larger of a catch radius, so that's good for balls that are sailing on him a little bit.
Knight's playing in the slot at the top of your screen there, and it's going to be a fake handoff now, an option, an actual throwback to Sinchak. Sinchak is not going to go anywhere on it.
Yeah, and here's the thing is Latrobe was ready for it because when you run that option, right, you're going to go ahead and your quarterback's free game, and Tristan took a solid shot right there, and then good team tackling by Latrobe, filling downhill in a hurry and able to negate any movement there for the Knights, and we're in a punting situation.
And it'll bring Evan Pfeiffer on for the 2nd time here tonight. What do you think about the play calling there, Brian? Do you like the option on a 3rd down and short there?
It's interesting. Given the way that Tristan threw that, I'm not sure if that flare was supposed to be a little bit wider to put him in a little bit more of a bind. But either way, it is what it is, and we got to be. Norwin has to be able to go ahead and stand up here on defensive and try to force a punt situation or a turnover. Where on the other side, Latrobe, man, keep the ball rolling and keep it on the ground and go.
This is the furthest back Latrobe has started with the ball tonight. Both times have been at the 49-yard line to start. This will be back to the Latrobe 24-yard line, so a little bit of a longer challenge. They've ran a total, Brian, of 7 plays for 104 yards and 2 scores. They've only held the ball now for 2 minutes and 51 seconds.
Yeah, and they're in the driver's seat right now because they have the freedom to do whatever they want. Stay on the ground or maybe take a shot occasionally, and so got to be ready to play ball here if you're on the defensive side from Norwin.
And of those 104 yards, only one of them is through the air, and that was a completion to Drenovich, and a timeout is going to be taken by Latrobe. We'll take a timeout here, 2:46 go in the first quarter on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Norwin Teachers Federal Credit Union provides full banking services to all Norwin School District employees, area businesses, Norwin students, and their families. There's a branch conveniently located inside the high school, so Norwin students can access many of these banking services. For more information, visit them online at norwinteachersfcu.org or download their mobile app. Norwin Teachers Federal Credit Union is federally insured by the National Credit Union Administration, equal housing lender.
Good luck Knights on a great season from chiropractor Dr. Joseph Altier in Jeanette. Dr. Joseph Altier provides whole-body chiropractic care for all and specializes in headache relief. To make an appointment, call 724-52-SPINE. Serving the community for over 25 years, Dr. Joseph Altier Chiropractic, near Elliott Company in Jeanette.
Quick throw there by Wetzel was knocked down by the pressuring Evan Archer coming in. It'll be 2nd down and 10. as we welcome you back inside the Westmoreland Sports Network. Dave Franzak alongside Brian Brzezinski, Chris Smith, our camera operator here tonight, Dan Flickinger, our executive producer, director. What other hat would you like here, Dan? He's done it all here for us tonight. Let's not forget Miss Shirley Flickinger back in the studios getting us all of our scores here tonight. 2:43 remaining here in this first quarter. Wetzel will keep it himself left side. Had an opening for a split second, and Leonard came in with Archer and closed it up very quickly. But Wetzel's second effort will take him up to the 34-yard line.
Yeah, and something that's standing out right off the get-go is yards after contact. Both Tatch and Wetzel doing a nice job just keeping the feet churning and getting that extra dirty yards. And so right there, he did a great job of making this third and manageable instead of being back there like 3rd and 8.
3rd down and 5 for the Wildcats. Wetzel will split out here to the bottom of your screen, and it'll be Alex Tash who will take the snap. Gets it. Fakes the left side, now comes back here to the near side. Yeah, gets out of an arm tackle, gets to the 40, and Sinchak will ride his back down to the 44-yard line.
Yeah, and he just runs very well. He does a nice job of being able to set up the defenders, and he's not just sprinting to the perimeter. He's setting them up, making them think upfield, and then bouncing wide. Has good speed, good balance, good vision, great run.
Under 2 minutes here, nearing a minute and a half to go in the first quarter, and it's a 14-0 Greater Latrobe lead. They've scored on both possessions so far here tonight. 1st down and 10 for them at the Latrobe 44. Motion out, and it'll go again, an empty set, and now Wetzel will come back. Pitch it to him on a forward pass. That will actually be a pass on the touch pass, and Potter Brzezinski will wrap up his ankles and limit it to a gain of 4.
Yeah, and that was one of the formations right there that try to spread them out a little bit, and you can guarantee that they're going to come back with, the fake touch, and then you're going to get Tash right up the gut there. But a nice play design, and fortunately for Norwin, Potter Brzezinski's able to be there to be able to minimize that gain right there. But right now, Latrobe's keeping that drive going, and, got to keep on staying on pace what they're doing. Got to appreciate it. Line's doing a good job getting a good push.
The first quarter wasn't the quarter for the Knights last week. It's not the quarter this week, as Tash will get the ball across the 50 and get up near the 45. We'll see where they spot him, and they do spot him to the 45. So give him 7 yards on that carry.
Yeah, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but here we go. Just, nothing fancy or abstract. It's just good old-fashioned football. Let's fire off the ball, create a little bit of a seam, and let our running backs work downhill. Smart idea right now with, Latrobe. They like where they're at, and they're going to go ahead and let this run out to, end the first quarter.
5 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. They're going to let it run. So after one quarter of play, it's 14-0 Latrobe here on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Cheer on your favorite school in style this season with shirts, hoodies, caps, and a whole lot more from Logo It by L&J Spiritwear. Stop into Logo It's fully stocked store on Walnut Street in Harrison City, where you can browse the latest fits featuring Penn Trafford, Franklin Regional, Norwin, Hempfield, and Jeanette High Schools. Logo It also designs custom uniforms and apparel. Open Tuesday through Saturday or online anytime at lnjspiritwear.com.
Get to Mike Hamlin Hyundai during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Drive the new 2024 Hyundai Elantra SEL or Tucson SE with 1.99% financing for up to 60 months. All vehicles are backed by the Mike Hamlin Advantage Oil Changes for Life.
This is how far we'll go to detect lung cancer. 5 millimeters, less than 1/4 of an inch, and a chest x-ray can't see it. Independence Health System uses the latest low-dose CT scanners and advanced visualization to detect and treat lung cancer at its earliest stage, leading to more treatment options and potentially better outcomes. Independence Health System combines the latest technology and techniques with superb physician expertise for the treatment of lung cancer. Like the use of robotic surgery. For patients, it means shorter procedures, less post-operative recovery time, and less risk for complications. Early, accurate, and advanced detection and advanced therapy, all key in the fight against lung cancer, and all available at Independence Health System. Expert care here.
First play of the second quarter here on the Westmoreland Sports Network was an 11-yard scamper by Tash up the middle. And he'll line up to the left of Wetzel now here in the shotgun. First down and 10 for Latrobe. Handed off on the end around, getting outside and getting back to the line of scrimmage at best was Chris Cochran, his first carry of the night. Are they actually going to give him a yard? No, they're going to say no gain here, Brian. I thought they were spotting him for a yard gain. I was going to say at best he was back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and a nice job just stringing that play out. And so, it's a battle at that line. When the line's able to go ahead on the defensive side and minimize any gaps or holes and make them run to the perimeter, the defense has been able to rally. But to the same respect, Latrobe's been able to seal that edge at times and be able to create holes. And so, that line has been an integral part of this game early on.
And off this time on the deep back and trying to fight forward is Brady Prahovic. And Prahovic is going to make it close to a first down. He's going to get about 8 yards on his first carry. So, Brian, looking at the stats here for Latrobe, at least their scoring stats for the season, they're averaging 13 points in the first quarter and only 7 in the second quarter. Norwin averaging 3 per first quarter, which is a little odd because they had 20 last week, so I'm not sure if that stat is 100% correct for Norwin. But regardless, the first quarter seems to be a great quarter for Latrobe and not so great in the second quarter. Where Norwin last week had a quarter to forget, and they had another one here so far. Is it Prahovic again? He needed 3, and they're going to give him 3.
Yeah, and what I'm really liking is you're just seeing a lot of good team football here on the Latrobe side. Line's getting a nice little push, nice little seam there, but man, I really like the fight that I'm seeing in the runs. And that's going across the board, and nice run there. And unfortunately, I didn't get the gentleman's number there, but I like the way he was running there, keeping the feet churning and be able to get that first down.
First down and 10 after the Prahovic carry. Looking to throw this time. Has plenty of time to go downfield. Fakes it. Now the pressure's on by Archer. Strutt's going to try to get in there. Lots of pressure coming in. Finally, they're going to wrap up John Wetzel behind the line of scrimmage. It's going to be about a 3-yard loss.
Yeah, and so what they ended up doing is a play that, Norwin has shown they've had trouble on before, is that drive across, man-to-man coverage. But give Leonard a lot of credit right there. He saw that man coming open, and in the high school game, you're allowed contact before the ball's in the air, and he was able to put the receiver down. And Wetzel had to scramble around, and that's what resulted in the sack there. Good coverage by the Knights.
Come on, defense!
14-0, Greater Latrobe leads it here in the first quarter. Handoff is going to go to Alex Tash up the middle, and just like a bull in a china shop, goes right up to the 25-yard line. Only gets 2 on that, but that was a very strong 2 yards.
Yeah, it definitely was, and what you have to do is exactly that. You can't go one-on-one with him. You got to make sure you have multiple bodies there, because the one-on-one battles Tash is going to win, and Norwin had a nice gang tackle there by having multiple bodies, and that's why they were able to go ahead and get him down.
Third down and 10 now.
3rd and 10 for Latrobe.
So they're actually going to give Tash 3 yards there, Brian.
Yeah, I believe it. he had a head of steam, and he ended up following forward. So
empty set for the Wildcats. 3rd down and 10.
Interesting trips to the boundary.
Yep, trips here to the near side.
Yeah.
And they're going to run it far side. Huss is there, tall to the task. Brings down Wetzel to the 31-yard line. Loss of 7.
Yeah, give Huss a lot of credit right there, because trips to the boundary, you got to know something's up there. And what they were doing is they were going to go ahead and try to get as many defenders into the boundary and let Wetzel use his speed to try to turn that corner. And Huss up to the task in that case and was able to bring him down.
Oh, they're going to give an interesting spot here, Brian. They're going to give it only a loss of 5. So it'll be a 2nd down and 15. 4th down and 15. Wow, I'm all over the place here tonight. I saw quarter 2. I guess it's a night to forget for all of us so far, Brian. Going for it on 4th down. Looking to pass. Wants to go for a home run in the end zone, and it's broken up.
Yeah, nice.
Zach Pauling in there to stick his hand up there. Sorry, Brian. And deflect that ball away. We were talking there with the commercial. They need some sort of spark play. I said a turnover. I'll take the turnover on downs.
Yeah, that was definitely the play that if you're a Norwood fan, you needed. And Zach did a great job, not panicking. Guy got behind him a little bit, but stayed on pace and was able to go ahead and read the receiver's hands and punch it out because, Zach did a nice job. If he doesn't punch that out, that's probably going to result in a big play, possibly even 6.
Probably would have been a touchdown, as the only thing left between the intended receiver and the end zone was the goal line.
Yeah, so maybe that's the spark play that, Norwin needed to go ahead and get on a little bit of a rally here in the second quarter.
Here we go, 1st down and 10 for Norwin from the 29. Fake to handoff. Now it's going to be a hit across the middle to Cooper Wilson. Finally, the two of them connect.
Yeah, and what's interesting there is, given that it's an RPO, that puts Tristan more in that little sidearm sling motion that he might be more acclimated to. Again, hate to keep dwelling on it, his baseball background. That kept that ball low and on point right to Cooper. Good 1st down play.
15 yards on that first play. This time it's going to be another passing play. It's going to be the exact same play. Does he make the catch? They're going to say no, it skipped up off the turf. I thought Wilson caught the ball. Good job there, though, defensively for Latrobe's Tyler Bauer.
We just saw 2 good defensive plays there by cornerbacks because Cooper was able to get inside leverage on that slant again, but the cornerback Bauer didn't give up on it, played through the ball and was able just to cause enough disruption, and Cooper ended up just getting that bobble on the ground whenever the ball hit.
I guess lightning doesn't strike twice. It's kind of a funny pun for tonight.
I was just going to say.
Didn't think about it as I was saying it, but tonight they are running things a little bit quicker here with the weather implications potentially here in the second half. 2nd down and 10. Looking to throw, pressure's on. Get it underneath the Gio Rotroff to get to the 50. Dances out of his tackler momentarily. Looked like he lost the ball, but got it back. And they want to go quick.
Yeah, and Latrobe trying to change the momentum right there, so they bring Tash coming in hot, and he did. He came in hot, and Tristan was able to go ahead and get it around him to G there into the flat for a gain there and make this 3rd and manageable.
3rd and 4. Handoff goes to Haas, right side, not getting any push at all. Now a second effort, depending on the spot, could have the 1st down here, Brian.
Yeah, and I tell you what, if you're at home watching this and you're a young, beginning football player, you're seeing a good display on how to run the football and finish runs because all these running backs are grinding out, and Huss did a nice job there seeking the 1st down and finding it.
Fake it, now it's going to be a pitch on the outside. Huss has some space, gets to the 40 to the 35. He was tripped up, and he's going to get 1st down yardage. Now they're going to call him down to the 35-yard line, so give him 9 yards.
Yeah, so interesting, and Tristan, when he's optioning to the left, he's going with like the little flare pass instead of the left-hand shovel, but it's effective. It's actually getting there on point and on
quicker.
time. Yeah, and Jake Knight did a nice job there with the downfield, open field block, taking out 2 Latrobe defenders, making it a 2nd and 1.
2 backs now. Sinchak will split out to the left. Time. Has a man open down the middle. It's DeFazio. Gets his hands up. Oh, he can't hold on to the ball. It was there for him, though.
Yeah, and it almost looks like when he turned to locate the ball, he kind of slowed down a half step, which made him have to try to reach for it there. He had it in the gloves, making a good effort at it, but unable to, keep it in his hands while he hits the ground.
He's got 2 different colored gloves on tonight. Might want to go to 1 solid there. Might be a bad omen. 3rd down and short. Tavares will keep it himself, and he has plenty of room for the 1st down. Gets out of the tackle. 25, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Tristan Tavares.
Hey, we talked about being able to make a big play, and Tristan just delivered right there if you're a Norwin fan, because that's what they needed to try to go ahead and get some excitement on the sidelines there. So good play all around, good run.
2 minutes and 5 seconds off the clock on that scoring drive, and they'll await the extra point attempt from Evan Pfeiffer as he'll take the kick from the hold of Zach Pauling and the snap of Sonny Gayu. High snap from Gayu. Pauling gets it down. Kick is up and through. 14-7. Latrobe leads at 4:56 remaining here in the first half.
I feel like it's definitely very important, like for high school, because a lot of kids, get peer pressured into drinking and doing drugs. So like doing the events like in a school setting, I feel like definitely like try to prevent kids from like going to like parties and drinking and driving and doing drugs and being peer pressured.
We just want to, talk about the dangers of the substance abuse in our community, and we want to help be a part of stopping that.
It may be small, but it can bear over 4,000 times its own weight. And that's just the door hinge. Sturdy design, all the way down to the smallest detail. The Taos. Hop in. It's a VW.
For a great deal on a new 2024 Volkswagen Taos, visit Sendell VW in Greensburg. SendellVW.com.
The ball was bobbled there on the kickoff from Camden Ash, but Greater Latrobe was able to pick that ball up. And we had a nice little special visitor for just a moment there. And it was none other than former Norwin head coach Dave Brzezinski giving us both a couple fired up fist bumps. Brian, I think he could be down on that sidelines with his energy.
Yeah, he definitely is an emotion riding guy, and he feeds off of positive energy. Right now, that's what I think if you're a Norwin fan, that's what you need right now. You need more people to try to make plays and spring this momentum. If you're Latrobe, hey, let's get back to running the ball and try to get a drive established. Norwin had some personnel issues right there. It looks like they have to burn a timeout there.
We'll take a quick break here as well. 4:49 remaining in the first half.
State Representative Mike Reese was a great advocate for the kids in our community. He felt athletics were a vital tool in raising healthy, happy kids. The Mike Reese Memorial Fund offers grants to local youth athletic organizations so that every kid has a chance to play. Funding is available for new equipment, registration fee offset, facility improvements, and more. Visit MikeReeseMemorialFund.com to apply.
.449 remaining here in this first half of action. Latrobe leads at 14-7 after the Norwin touchdown, and it'll be a Wildcat formation to start. Tash looked like he was going to throw the ball for a split second, has some great room. 35 to the 40, gets out of the tackle of Pauling, but Sinchak will bring him down just shy of the 50, maybe across the 50 to the 48.
Yeah, so with that special little twins formation, what it's doing is it's spreading us out, or spreading Norwin out a little bit, and right off the bat, Tash being able to get downhill. And if you're a defender, right now the last thing you want to see is a 2-5 in an orange jersey coming at you full speed. And it's going to take multiples because, again, after contact, he was able to go forward for additional significant yardage.
He doesn't have a carry for less than 3 yards today, Brian. One of those 3-yarders was a touchdown. He already has 100 yards on the night.
Yeah, I think there's a reason he's going to Penn State.
Low snap, but Wetzel will get it and keep it up the middle to the 45, maybe to the 44 for 4 yards.
Yeah, and this is what makes Latrobe a little dangerous here now, because now Tash not only is a threat, but you have Wetzel as well. And honestly, you got to give the linemen a lot of credit as well. They're doing a nice job of making sure that both of their athletes can go ahead and get momentum started downhill, not worried about dancing in the backfield.
3:40 remaining here now in the first half. 3 receivers line up here to the near side for Greater Latrobe. It'll be a keeper to the right side for Wetzel. And gets a couple nice big blocks. Pauling was going to come up, but Leonard will be the one to finish the tackle. It'll be just up across the 40 to the 38. He needed 6, and they're going to give him 6.
Yeah, and again, just a nice lateral run, being able to go ahead and use his speed to get out there, then also be able to have the lateral quickness and agility to go ahead and make people miss and get that converted into a first down.
Cash needed a break there. He comes back into the game as Brady Prohovic goes out. First down intended for Greater Latrobe.
Yeah, and the run game is definitely something that, Latrobe's hanging their hat on right now, and I would too. They're doing a good job with it.
They only have 4 official passing attempts, as this one's going to be an option pass out to the, an option pitch out to the outside, and getting into the open space up across the 20, loses the ball, but after he was down was Tash. They'll mark him up to about, I think they're going to give him to the 18. They're going to give him all the way up to the 15, Brian?
Yeah, because I'm guessing possibly that ball was fumbled. I didn't see the finish of the run, but I do know that off that option, I mean, it's, again, pick your poison because you got Wetzel and Tash coming at you. And, both of them are big play capable, and so right there, they made one of those big plays.
A little bit of a notable note here. Dan just tapped me on the shoulder and showed me the screen. Tash came off the field holding his shoulder. Prahovic is the one getting the carry this time. It's going to be a short gain up to the 13-yard line, so give him 3.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that Tash is all right because I tell you what, he's fun to watch. And that's one thing that we'll definitely keep an eye on. But, you know, given how they've been rotating some of the backs and what Wetzel's been able to do, the line for Latrobe's been doing a good job of making sure that run game stays on pace.
So right now, Tash remains out. And it'll still be Prahovic back there. 2nd down and 7, a minute and a half to go here in this first half. He'll go to Prahovic, and he'll get to the left side up near the 5-yard line. He needs 7 for the first down, depending on the spot. Could be that 7 yards. I think they're going to mark him just shy and give him 6.
Yeah, so they bring the motion over, and then they actually run that little, like, jet sweep read, if you would. And Wetzel being able to go ahead and make the appropriate read, give it to his running back there, and he was able to go ahead and work up near the first down. Again, just a nice, solid, good run, good play.
1 minute remains here in the first half. Latrobe will get the ball to start the second half as they deferred the opening kickoff. And it'll be a pistol formation. Tash comes back into the game, and a flag flies, and it'll be a false start penalty against the Wildcats. Is that our first penalty tonight?
That is actually our first penalty of the night, and that's significant too because that goes from 3rd and 1 to now 3rd and 6, which makes that a little bit different.
So the clock stops at 46 seconds on the infraction.
Yeah, and so now, I'm not sure, you know, in the mindset of Latrobe, that 3rd and 1, you know, Tash going up the middle, everyone knows it's coming, but he hasn't been stopped yet. But now 3rd and 6, they might open it up a little bit more.
Now the clock rolls at 30 seconds. Tash going to get the carry. Evan Archer wrapped up his ankles, and it looked like it was Michael DeFazio to come in to assist on the tackle.
Yeah, so 4th down, timeout here.
That now becomes the shortest rush of the night for the, well, they continue it at 3 yards here. And for the latest on Westmoreland County High School football scores tonight, follow us on X at Westmoreland SN or check out our score tracker on our website, westmorelandsports.com. Both are updated frequently throughout the night, so you can get the most up-to-date scores on all of our Westmoreland County teams. And while we're at it, let's congratulate our Week 1 Westmoreland Sports Network Player of the Week, and it is Jeanette Jayhawks Kamani Brown. Brown racked up a combined 262 yards and 5 touchdowns through the air and the ground in the Jayhawks win over Apollo Ridge. Congratulations to our other nominees: Samir Crosby of of Greensburg Central Catholic, Jack Weissar of Penn Trafford, Southmoreland's Elliot Primus, and Franklin Regional's Kyle Dupill. 4th down and 3. They didn't convert on 4th down before. Tash will go Wildcat with 24 seconds remaining here in this first half. Tash gets outside. He's going to get into the end zone. Touchdown.
Yeah, and just good design right there. So again, bring Wetzel in motion, and Tash has the ability to give it to him or read the backside. Reads the backside there and was able to go ahead and just find pay dirt.
With 18 seconds remaining here in this first half, Latrobe makes it a 2-score game again. And it's Augustini to come in and attempt the point after.
Yeah, significant score there because now they're going to have a chance to double up, getting the ball back at the end of the, or to start the second half.
Kick is up and good. 21-7, Latrobe on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
our top story tonight, C. Harper is celebrating their 40th anniversary.
That's right, Cassius. C. Harper has been providing outstanding automotive service to their customers and community for 40 fantastic years.
Wow. What's the forecast for the next 40 years, Uncle Casey?
There's a 100% chance of providing the best price every time, all the time, for years to come.
Visit any C. Harper dealership to get in on the celebration today.
It's just that easy. That's a wrap. Nice work, everybody.
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices, located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart. Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
Touchback on Augustini's kickoff, and with 18 seconds remaining here in this first half, Norwin will have to go 80 yards if they want to get a touchdown and stay in this game for now.
Yeah, so 18 seconds, and it's one of those things right now is, in the game of football, you just never know when you can break one. So it'll be interesting, what dynamic they go here.
Well, you know what I'm going to say? Watch for Jake Knight here. They hit on 80 yards against Penn Trafford and really sparked that turnaround in that game in week 0. So Jake Knight, and it looks like they have a safety bracketed over top on his side, and Wetzel cheats that way as well. Instead, they're going to hand it off to Gio Rotroff. Rotroff has some room to the 25. Going to fight forward to the 28.
Yeah, and so G does a nice job of understanding the situation. Go ahead, gets it, stays in bounds, gets a solid run to kind of finish out the first half, and into the locker room for both teams to see what adjustments we're going to make here for the second half.
And that will take us up to the Independence Health System halftime show here on the Westmoreland Sports Network. Expert care here. We're going to take a break here on the Westmoreland Sports Network. When we come back, we can wrap up the first half for you. Plus, we'll hear and see the sights and sounds of both marching bands here on the Westmoreland Sports Network. 21-7, Greater Latrobe leads it here on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
The pulse of Western Pennsylvania is in very good hands. It's a system of healthcare whose hospitals have earned some of medicine's most prestigious honors for cardiovascular care, like the top 10% in the nation for excellence in specialty cardiac care. One of America's 100 best for heart care. A heart surgery program ranked among the top 2% nationwide and cited as high performing for heart bypass, heart failure, and heart attack. It's a system of healthcare that combines superb physician expertise with the latest technology, such as robotic cardiac surgery and hybrid operating rooms, the most sophisticated surgical environment in medicine, providing minimally invasive options for carotid artery disease and aortic valve replacement. The pulse of Western Pennsylvania is indeed in very good hands with the Heart and Vascular Program at Independence Health System. Expert care here.
Drive like a champion with Bowser Chevrolet of Monroeville. You're always on the winning team with Bowser Chevrolet. Visit BowserChevrolet.com 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and get the power of Bowser in your hands. Customize your payments, apply for financing, get a value for your trade and more with the Bowser Express Store. See the full lineup of Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs at BowserChevrolet.com. Bowser Chevrolet, where the power of Bowser is yours.
In the mood for surf and turf? D'Annunzio's at the Arnold Palmer Regional Airport in Latrobe has what you're craving. Every Sunday after brunch, our surf and turf special is available until close. The surf and turf special is highlighted by a petite filet and broiled lobster tail with drawn butter. The surf and turf special includes fresh vegetables, a starch, and a salad or soup. So the next time you think of surf and turf, think D'Annunzio's in Latrobe every Sunday. It's a family tradition.
East Suburban Sports Medicine Center, Western Pennsylvania's #1 physical therapy practice since 1984, is always offering same-day or next-day appointments for all new patients. With 8 convenient locations and extensive therapy services, ESSMC offers the best care anywhere, hands down. Call 412-856-8060 or visit ESSMC.com to schedule today. ESSMC Physical Therapy. Your health, your decision.
We welcome you into the Independence Health System halftime show here on the Westmoreland Sports Network. Expert care here at the half. Latrobe leads at 21-7 over Norwin. We're going to step aside. We're going to give it to the bands here. First, you're experiencing the sights and sound of the Greater Latrobe Wildcats Marching Band here on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
As the band continues to dream of tomorrow, they will perform Dream On by Aerosmith, featuring baritone soloist Dom Duragon, and Don't Stop by Fleetwood Mac. With their sights set on new horizon, the band closes its show proclaiming "Don't Stop Me Now," featuring the hit song by Queen. The Greater Latrobe Wildcat Marching Band is under the direction of Brian Checkeye, assisted by Josh Jordan and Morgan Roswell. The color guard is directed by Kate Richards, with instructors Jessica Wilson and Morgan Chan. The drum line is directed by Anthony.
There you go, the Greater Latrobe Marching Band, as we continue live on our Independence Health System halftime show. Dan Flickinger with you right now, and before they bring out the Norwin Marching Band, let's take a look at some scores from around the area. Ligonier Valley up on Jeanette right now, 20-13, 3:54 remaining second quarter. Greensburg-Salem 20, Valley 6 second quarter. End of the first quarter, Penn Trafford up 7-0 on Moon. Again, that's the end of the first quarter. Late in the second quarter, Deer Lakes 21, Derry 6. Gateway, close game against Plum right now, 13-7. Plum, scrappy team, even though they're 0-2. 13-7 in the second quarter. Hempfield looking for its first victory of the season. They're up 14-10 on Kiski area in the second quarter. At last check, Southmoreland was ahead 21-0 on Laurel Highlands. In an all Westmoreland County battle, Mount Pleasant leading Burrell 10-6. That last check early on in the second quarter. Another good battle here tonight happening over at the beach. Bell Vernon leading Central Valley 13-7. At last check in the second quarter. Don't forget to follow us on X at Westmoreland SN. Our fine folks are back in the Westmoreland Sports Network studios tweeting scores throughout the night. And you can also make sure you check out our scoreboard at the top of our website as well for scores on Westmoreland County games throughout the evening. Thanks to Shirley Flickinger, Nicolette Peterson, and everybody for helping with our scores throughout the evening. We're going to send it back down to the field for the Norwin Marching Band in just a moment here on the Independent Health System halftime show.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the Norwin High School Marching Band. Our 2024 production is entitled Running Rampant. We will present the first 3 movements for you tonight. Norwin High School is proud to present drum majors Evan Roper, Royce Jackson, and the Norwin High School Marching Band. Ladies and gentlemen, the Norwin High School Marching Band.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for both bands. Doing a great time for halftime this evening.
That was the sights and sounds of both marching bands here on the Westmoreland Sports Network during the Independence Health System halftime show. Expert care here. When we come back, we'll wrap up the first half. Brian and I will, and we'll get you ready for the second half here on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Drive like a champion with Bowser Chevrolet of Monroeville. You're always on the winning team with Bowser Chevrolet. Visit BowserChevrolet.com 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and get the power of Bowser in your hands. Customize your payments, apply for financing, get a value for your trade and more with the Bowser Express store. See the full lineup of Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs at BowserChevrolet.com. Bowser Chevrolet, where the power of Bowser is yours.
Your next golf adventure awaits at Manor Valley Golf Course in Export. Manor Valley offers 18 scenic holes over gentle sloping fairways and the purest putting surfaces around. Manor Valley Golf Course in Export is the perfect place to host your next golf outing, banquet party, or shower. Manor Valley also offers league play and great membership rates. Tee times available. Call 724-744-4242. Visit ManorValleyGC.com.
Having plumbing issues? Level Green Plumbing and Heating can help. Level Green Plumbing and Heating specializes in drain and sewer service, water heater installation and repair, excavating and trenching, and if you have frozen pipes this winter, they can get that water flowing again. Level Green Plumbing and Heating is open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, with emergency service available anytime. Call 412-372-5544 or visit lgph.com.
At Smale Kia, we know that winning takes hard work, dedication, and a commitment to excellence. By sponsoring Shining Stars, we'll select 2 teams each season to help fund their booster programs. Rewarding their hard work, athletic progress, and community service is an investment we're proud to make. Congrats to our previous Shining Star winners, and good luck. And speaking of excellence, lease a 2024 Kia Forte LXS for only $99 a month from Smale Kia.
We welcome you back inside the Independence Health System halftime show here on the Westmoreland Sports Network. Expert care here. 21-0 is the lead for the Greater Latrobe Wildcats. Dave Franzak alongside Brian Brzezinski. Chris Smith on the camera here tonight for us at the Knights Castle. Dan Flickinger, our Swiss Army man, executive producer, director, producer, halftime show analyst, scoreboard reader, and let's not forget Miss Shirley Flickinger back at headquarters, getting us all the scores and updating you as well on the scoreboard tracker on our website over at westmorelandsports.com. Brian, right now, this is not the way Norwin, I think, planned to go here tonight, and we were just saying before we came on the air here, it feels like Norwin may almost be overlooking this game. It's their last 5A opponent before they go into 6A play here, other than the North Hills matchup there sprinkled in a few weeks. They got Seneca Valley next week here at the Knights Castle, and right now they've given up the ball. They've given up 231 total yards, and only 5 of them have been through the air for Latrobe. Latrobe has had 28 plays ran, and they're averaging 8 yards a play. 4 possessions. They've had the ball 15 minutes total in this first half, and they're averaging 3 minutes and 46 seconds a possession, and they're getting it done. You can already see Mike Brown down there is fired up and screaming at his team to get off the sideline. Let's get this thing rolling.
Yeah, and that's what you want to try to see, is you just want to see that emotion start carrying over onto the field play and see if they can't, get that spark back in them and have some energy, because football's an emotional game, and some of it's, you got to be able to have a little bit of emotion, have some energy, and be able to play together and feed off one another. So right now, if you're Norwin, you're hoping, someone can make a special play. If you're Latrobe, man, you're able to stay on the game plan. You're able to go ahead and the book's open, man. You want to go ahead and gamble a little bit, take a shot. Right now, you feel offensively like you can go ahead and basically get away with anything you want at this point. So it's going to be interesting to see what the halftime adjustments are and see how the second half rolls out.
Let's slide up the scoreboard here real quick. From out-of-town scores, Mount Pleasant 17-13 over Borough at halftime. Upper St. Clair 38, Franklin Regional 0 at the half. At the half, Hempfield 28, Kiski area 10. Also at the half, Deer Lakes 21, Derry 6. Jeanette has a tied ball game. That game, I'm sure, is at the half now with Ligonier Valley, and that one has been going back-to-back. Camden Ash will kick this ball off. It'll take a bounce and go into the end zone, and it'll be Greater Latrobe starting with the ball in the second half. They'll run their 29th play here in just a moment.
Yeah, and so as we kind of alluded to, let's see, what the Knights do here on defense, if they change things up a little bit, and see, what Latrobe comes out with here on their first drive.
Their leading rusher right now is Alex Tash. He's got 11 carries for 134 yards, Brian, already in the first half. He's averaging 12 yards a carry.
And it's impressive, and a lot of those yards are coming after contact as well. And so, if I'm Norwin right now, I want to try to make sure there's no straight line attacks, make him try to bubble and get out of his, get off his speed. Is that bunch into the boundary here?
Yep, he's down low on your screen, and it'll be a fake that way, and Wetzel will keep the ball himself. He wanted to run with the ball, and Evan Archer was there to swallow him up. Also back there was Ponder Brzeski and Michael DeFazio. No gain for Wetzel, the quarterback, who is the second leading rusher coming into this game for Greater Latrobe. He is also the second leading rusher in this game with 73 yards for the Wildcats.
Yeah, so we've seen that look before in the first half, but something they did different this time is they brought Tash, the younger Tash that is, and brought him over as an extra blocker, trying to hit it up inside the seam, and Norman was up to task on the first down.
Losing the ball for a moment, and still lost it. Norwin recovers. Tash didn't get a clean handoff. Ball came loose, and Michael DeFazio pounces on it. Norwin takes it over at the Latrobe 21.
Yeah, and that was that splash play that maybe Norwin needs to go ahead and just get everyone's energy up high and turn this thing around to the second half. Just looked like, Tash and Wetzel not on the same page. He got under, he was just grabbing the ball until a nice hit there. It jars the ball loose and allows DeFazio to go ahead and scoop it up to give Norwin the possession.
So Norwin already threatening here to start this drive. And it looks like it's going to be a man-to-man defense from the Wildcats to start this drive. Two backs in the backfield again with Tavares. It's Sinchak and Rothrow. Sinchak will motion and looking to throw right away. Wants to go to the end zone. Double covered and overthrowing Sinchak and incomplete. As that is the 11th pass thrown from Tavares tonight, and he's only completed 4 of them for 40 yards.
Yeah, so it's definitely something that they probably drew up, at halftime. They try to go ahead and get, Sinchak in a little bit of motion there and then run a deep switch if you would, but Latrobe, nice coverage there, and Norwin, fortunately, that's not picked off.
Handoff goes to Gio Rotroff, gets to the 15, is going to be undercut, and will put Norwin inside the Norwin Teachers Federal Credit Union red zone, providing family-like services since 1952. Gain of 8 there for Gio, and puts Norwin at a third and extremely manageable here.
Yeah, Rotroff does a great job of seeing that linebacker fill in the A-gap quickly, sticks the left foot in the ground, gets positive yardage there.
It'll be his design keeper for Tavares. He only needed 2 yards, and he's going to get 3 out of it and give the Norwinites a first down up to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, another hard-earned first down right there, but Tristan willing to go ahead and lay the shoulder down to get it for Norwin, and so got something rolling here.
First and goal now from the 10 for Norwin.
Yeah, I had a little bit of a substitution, but plenty of time on the play clock here to go ahead and get organized and get this play off.
They bring in Logan Hunter in as an extra blocker for Norwin. Sinchak. Nope, it's going to be Tavares left side. Dances forward. Are they going to mark him down before? Touchdown, Tristan Tavares.
Yeah, so Tristan just did another nice job of just being able to go ahead and find the end zone and going ahead and taking what the defense gives him, but then finishing the run and making sure that he goes ahead and has enough just to get over that goal line.
to the Norwin football boosters.
Big extra point here. Sully had a little bit of a high one last time. Hopefully this gets down for Zach there.
Sully Gayu will snap it to Zach Pauling, who will hold it for Evan Pfeiffer on this point after. Good snap this time. Hold is down. Kick is up. 21-14. Greater Latrobe leads it. 10-10 remaining in the third quarter here on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Norwin Teachers Federal Credit Union provides full banking services to all Norwin School District employees, area businesses, Norwin students, and their families. There's a branch conveniently located inside the high school, so Norwin students can access many of these banking services. For more information, visit them online at norwinteachersfcu.org or download their mobile app. Norwin Teachers Federal Credit Union is federally insured by the National Credit Union Administration, equal housing lender.
Good luck nights on a great season from chiropractor Dr. Joseph Altier in Jeanette. Dr. Joseph Altier provides whole-body chiropractic care for all and specializes in headache relief. To make an appointment, call 724-52-SPINE. Serving the community for over 25 years, Dr. Joseph Altier Chiropractic, near Elliott Company in Jeanette.
Ash puts a boot into this one, and it goes out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So Greater Latrobe will start with the ball at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and you could just hear it leave his foot. And that one, that's an impressive kick right there. It goes the whole way back to the end line. And little celebration there with Evan and Ash as they come off, as they do a chest bump and knock each other down there. But it's good to see everyone, getting excited and starting to show a little bit of emotion here on the Norwin bench.
Well, the last possession for Greater Latrobe went 2 plays and a fumble. Recovered by the Knights, who took advantage of that, and it's now a 21-14 game. Shotgun for the Wildcats, and it'll be Wetzel to keep it himself left side. Leonard is having a lot of trouble wrapping up on that quarterback tonight as Wetzel will move forward. Late flags come in. Are they going to get Brzezinski here for a late hit out of bounds? I thought he got him before he went out of bounds and they just wrote him down. That's momentum. I don't think you can call a flag on that, Brian.
Honestly, I kind of lost sight of the play once it got to that sideline. I was just impressed with the perimeter run to start. They did.
Yep, they're going to call Potter Brzezinski for a late hit out of bounds. I thought he got contact before Wetzel went out of bounds, so the play stands of 10 yards. Add another 15 yards to it after the penalty, and then put the ball at the 45.
Yeah, and something you don't want to do because, obviously they got the potential to go ahead and have long drives. You want to make them earn it. Don't give them the free stuff.
You can hear the wind starting to pick up here at the Knights Castle as weather's starting to move in. Handoff is going to go to Tash. Gets out of an arm tackle and lowers the boom on Sinchak. And Sinchak will wrap the ankles, and Haas will wrap up top there for a gain of 6.
Yeah, and again, it's Tash getting contact almost in the backfield right at the line of scrimmage. But just a strong runner, able to go ahead and just keep on breaking tackle after tackle and be able to get out there to the 5-yard gain, put the ball to.
So we just showed the replay of the late hit on Potter Brzezinski. I wildly disagree with it. He made contact before any part of the body was out of bounds. But I digress. I'm also trying to get some brownie points with Dad next door here. Handoff out to Tash on the next play. Gets open space, 40, 35, 30. Cuts back there at the 30 and get hit high at the 25, and is going to be ridden down to the 23.
Yeah, and again, when he gets that head of steam going, it's hard to go ahead and bring him down. Makes a nice end of run cut, too. Thinking possibly he's just going to lower the shoulder, and has a nice little stutter to go ahead and gain another 5 yards there.
Like you said, you can see why Penn State's interested in him and why he's going to go there. He's got 14 carries, 169 yards, 2 touchdowns, and is averaging 12 yards a carry right now. And we still have another quarter of play as the rain begins to fall here at Norwin Knight Stadium. 8.5 to play here in the third quarter. It's a 21-14 lead. And this time a new running back in the backfield. I believe that was Chris Cochran who got the call. Will steam forward for about 3 yards.
Yeah, and, they were on that little, pin pull action there and try to lead up in with the left guard. And Norwin was able to go ahead and stall the running back kind of behind the line of scrimmage and not allowing that full head of steam to the next layer. And if you're Norwin, that's what you got to continue trying to do. And that's just one time that they kind of got you there if you're Latrobe. Probably going to stick with this run because it's been very effective.
2 yards on the carry there for Cochran, and it'll be 2nd down and 8. Wetzel, left side, gets a good block, gets a couple good blocks, has him up room to the 15 to the 10, and Sinchak will force him out of bounds just shy of the 10-yard line.
Yeah, and so now when they run that perimeter run, they do a nice job of converging down that contained defender, so that way Wetzel's able to go ahead and come with speed towards the line of scrimmage instead of running parallel to the sideline. And then, giving an athlete like that enough speed and good job attacking downhill, he's able to make a significant gain out of it.
10 yards on the carry there for Wetzel, and that'll give him 93 yards on the night. As a team, this team is averaging 9 yards a carry. Empty set for Wetzel, and he'll keep it right side himself. Has a lot of blocking outside and lowering the shoulder and stopping him at the 10-yard line for a gain of 2 with Zach Pauling.
Yeah, Zach doing a nice job being able to come off his receiver that time and make a play. But again, we're getting kind of out-leveraged, Norwin is, with either formation, scheme, or with motion. And what's happening is Latrobe's taking advantage of it. And now, the chess game becomes, all right, if you start leveraging on the outside, they're going to go ahead and start hitting you up the middle. So it's, like we said before, it's kind of pick your poison, and Tash is back in. So wouldn't be surprised if we see Tash up the gut right here.
An interesting spot, too. They gave the benefit of the doubt to the 9-yard line, so it's 2nd down and 7. Tash goes far side to the 5, just shy of the 5 to the 6, and give him 3 yards on the carry.
Yeah, and so going with Tash there with fresh legs, and again, good coaching here by Latrobe. They understand, that they rely a lot on Wetzel and Tash, but they give them good, rest time to be able to come in during these critical moments and have possibly fresher legs to be able to finish runs. Big 3rd down right here.
Still a light rain here, but the wind is very much picking up here at Norwin Knights Stadium. 3rd down and 3. Fake the handoff, wants to throw. Throws it into the back of the end zone, sails over everybody, and will fall incomplete. Pressured on the play there from Norwin.
Yeah, and the pressure did a nice job, and a little bit surprised there. And I think they were hoping to possibly surprise a lot of people, too, with going with that little boot play. And give Norwin, credit. They stayed at home with the receivers and are here able to force a 4th down here.
Is that Kugler? 45? Now, folks, please bear with us. The white numbers do not match with the navy numbers for Norwin, so 45 may not be who it is on the roster. I believe that is Kugler, though, who wears 46 normally. Going for it here on 4th down. Empty set for Tash. Pressure's on. Is he going to get enough? I think the second effort gets him the 1st down. Yep, they're giving him the 1st down. He needed 3. He's going to get 4.
Yeah, did a nice job, Norwin did, being able to go ahead and knife through and get penetration. That's something they haven't really been able to do. And in that penetration, they were able to get towards the ankles, get towards the legs. But nice job by Wetzel there, being able to grind out a 1st down run.
So Tash's total now is up to 176 yards. Brownie's dropped in his average. He's now down to 11. 5 minutes remaining as Tash powers his way forward. Put an exclamation point on that one. A 3-yard rush for the senior.
Yeah, right there. Just good line play right there, given the fact that you have Tash and shotgun. And so now you're able to go ahead and snap that ball where he can just run full speed downhill, and your point of attack, your guard centers are able to go ahead and displace Norwin's line. And unfortunately, we got a man down right now.
Yep, Norwin's got a man down on the far sideline, on the far hash, I should say.
Yeah,
it's 57, the injured man there. Now, I have Lucas Altier.
Yeah.
As the man down, as the rain is now coming down harder. Let's take a quick injury timeout. When we come back, we'll get the point after as they attend to Altier here on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Cheer on your favorite school in style this season with shirts, hoodies, caps, and a whole lot more from Logo It by L&J Spiritwear. Stop into Logo It's fully stocked store on Walnut Street in Harrison City, where you can browse the latest fits featuring Penn Trafford, Franklin Regional, Norwin, Hempfield, and Jeanette High Schools. Logo It also designs custom uniforms and apparel. Open Tuesday through Saturday or online anytime at lnjspiritwear.com.
Get to Mike Hamlin Hyundai during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Drive the new 2024 Hyundai Elantra SEL or Tucson SE with 1.99% financing for up to 60 months. All vehicles are backed by the Mike Hamlin Advantage Oil Changes for Life.
A lot of events with CSA. It's one of the things I love about this organization, and I'm just so proud of what we do in Westmoreland County, from prevention conferences, veterans conferences, youth summits. We help with national night outs. There's so many different events and things that we've pulled together that have been really cool over the years. The best thing to be involved in the county, this is it. So we have a lot of members and things of that nature, but we are looking for more people to join and be a part of the group that can really be a part of the core team and invest into the community. So.
I'm going to get, oh, sorry, we're back. Lucas Altair getting helped off. Altier, getting helped off of the field. And I believe, Brian, it's going to be a right ankle injury. He's not putting any pressure on that right foot as he gets help getting off of the field. We'll attempt the point after here from Augustini. Holding it is Prahovic. Up and good, and it'll now be a 28-14 lead for Greater Latrobe. 5:01 remaining in the third quarter here on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
It may be small, but it can bear over 4,000 times its own weight. And that's just the door hinge. Sturdy design, all the way down to the smallest detail. The Taos. Hop in. It's a VW.
For a great deal on a new 2024 Volkswagen Taos, visit Sendell VW in Greensburg. SendellVW.com.
State Representative Mike Reese was a great advocate for the kids in our community. He felt athletics were a vital tool in raising healthy, happy kids. The Mike Reese Memorial Fund offers grants to local youth athletic organizations so that every kid has a chance to play. Funding is available for new equipment, registration fee offset, facility improvements, and more. Visit MikeReeseMemorialFund.com to apply.
(28-14). Latrobe leads it as the rain comes down pretty heavily here now at Norwin Knights Stadium. Norwin will start with the ball here in this third quarter of action. 5:01 remaining here in that third quarter. Dave Franzak alongside Brian Brzeski to bring you tonight's action here on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Yeah, and so Knights finding themselves down 2 scores here. So important drive here. Good win on first down would be important.
And they can't get any push up front. No gain on the handoff to Sinchak. And that seemed to be one of the positives for Norwin here coming into tonight's game was their offensive line play has been a lot better. Now we have a Wildcat down. And that is number 55. That is Sandro Castillo.
Yeah, and again, unfortunately, wasn't able to see what took place in the wash there. Looks like it could possibly be a cramping issue based off of the stretch. But Latrobe, man, they came to play on the line because big difference. You know, if you're watching the orange in offense or if you're watching the white in offense, a lot of times when the white's on offense, there's running backs being met behind the line of scrimmage or having to stutter and try to find a seam. Where on the flip side, Latrobe's doing a great job of being able to have seams for the running backs to be able to attack downhill. And when you give those athletes that ability to attack downhill, it just makes them that more challenging to go ahead and bring down. And so, it's one of those things just moving on throughout this game is, as you're not in, panic mode by any means, but it's going to come to a point where if you're unable to establish the run and that rain's coming down, it's going to make it harder to try to get that ball in the air.
It looks like the rain has actually literally just stopped as you were saying that. or it's slow. For the second straight week, though, Jeanette Jayhawk has won the Westmoreland Sports Network Player of the Week. Congratulations to our Week 1 winner, Kamani Brown of Jeanette. Brown racked up a combined 262 yards and 5 touchdowns through the air and ground in the Jeanette Jayhawks win over Apollo Ridge. Congratulations to our other nominees, Samir Crosby of Greensburg Central Catholic, Jack Weissar of Penn Trafford, Southmoreland's Elliot Primus, and also Franklin Regional's Kyle Dupill. Tavares wanted it all, and he's going to just sidearm it, but into the turf behind Sinchak, and will fall incomplete.
Yeah, a nice little scheme there. And what ended up happening is Leonard goes ahead, comes across a motion, then runs a drive. But a lot of that drive was just to create a wash, possibly for Sinchak if the deep ball wasn't there. And just unable to connect with Sinchak there in the flat. But if he's able to hit him in stride, might have a significant gain on that play.
3rd down and 10 now for Norwin.
Tash was stretching a cramp too, so another thing to keep an eye on.
Stepping up to throw. Tavares has no one. Now has a wide open man at the 35. Completed to the 40. Gets a block here on the near side of the 45. Gets to the 50. And up to the 45. Just ridden out of bounds. Now a thrown down. And a late flag comes in as the completion goes to Cooper Wilson.
Yeah, Cooper just does a great job of being able to go ahead and find that soft spot, but a veteran move. You can tell he's been well coached, and he has, a good bloodline, and his dad being the coach and all, helping him out. And he found that soft spot, settled down, showed the quarterback his shoulder pads. That way, his big, nice target. Tristan was able to hook up with him for a nice gain there. Put 15 more on there to go ahead with the personal foul out of bounds.
The gain was of 43 yards. And now add the 15 on top of it. We'll put Norwin at the Latrobe 22.
Yeah, and so, that play, take the yardage of the play and then the penalty, and you're right here in business if you're Norwin. Latrobe, they're going to go ahead and try to find a way to try to get this first one behind the sticks.
Let me tell you, that was great presence there by Tavares to just stay in the pocket. He had pressure, and he danced around, and will fake the handoff this time to Sinchak. Wants to throw to Knight across the middle. Doesn't have it. He's going to try to get back to the line of scrimmage, and I think he will.
Yeah, he does get back to the line of scrimmage, but a nice job finishing the play. Right there by Cochran. Chris Cochran sees Tavares coming after him, goes off of his coverage, and is able to go ahead and finish the tackle right there. And fortunately, Tristan got rolled up on a little bit, but it looks like he's all right.
He's flexing that right hand, though, right now, Brian. Yeah. Might have hit a helmet or something on coming down.
Yeah, that was a significant hit right there, and it's one of those, that as the game goes on, those are little body blows that could, keep on having effects later on in the game. Still a lot of time on the play clock.
Yeah. 3:25 remains here in the third quarter. It's a 2-score lead for the Wildcats. Sinchak this time has some blocks and will get up to the 15-yard line. Somebody lost the mouthpiece, and that'll put a nice gain there for the Norwin Knights as it puts them inside the Norwin Teachers Federal Credit Union Red Zone, providing family-like services since 1952. Handoff again here. He's going to go up the middle. I think he's going to get enough for a first down.
Yeah, it's going to be close, and they went with a hurry up there, and
they're going to mark it just shy, Brian.
Yeah, so fourth and short right here.
And that's about as short as you can get. Jackson Huss comes into the game. Tavares will go shotgun. Keep the ball himself. He's not going to get there, Brian.
Yeah,
not going to get there.
They went ahead and they tried to go, with best on best basically, because right now Tristan has a lot of success being able to go on that little sweep, but right there, Latrobe's willing to go ahead and step up to the challenge. And again, nice play by Cochran. Cochran right there on 2 big plays defensively, gets solid contact on Tavares and able to go ahead and make that a turnover on downs.
Drive stalls out at 2 minutes and 22 seconds for Norwin.
Yeah, had something rolling there for Norwin, but again, give Latrobe a lot of credit being able to step up and make plays in a timely fashion.
This will be the 8th possession for the Wildcats here tonight.
Let's go, D! Get it back!
Yeah, and it's definitely one, if you're a Norwin fan, that you got to try to minimize any type of possession here, because time's going to be something, and obviously points have already been at a premium.
Ron Prady will take a timeout. 2:39 remaining in the third quarter here on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Our top story tonight, C. Harper is celebrating their 40th anniversary.
That's right, Cassius. C. Harper has been providing outstanding automotive service to their customers and community for 40 fantastic years.
Wow, what's the forecast for the next 40 years, Uncle Casey?
There's a 100% chance of providing the best price every time, all the time, for years to come.
Visit any C. Harper dealership to get in on the celebration today.
It's just that easy. That's a wrap. Nice work, everybody.
Trying to go for a jugular shot here.
Altier back under the tent there. Got ice on the ankle, and as you heard Brian say, a little bit of a special play drawn up that looked busted from the defensive coverage for Norwin, causing the timeout from Ron Prady. Replacing the injured Altier is Connor Jordan. Jordan looks to contribute here and on this first play, as it is a gain of about 3 for, this time it's going to be for Prhovic.
Yeah, nice run of just being able to, again, finish. And you saw it there, contact, but spinning to fall forward and takes it from, a 1-yard gain to a 3-yard gain. Just keeps you on schedule. And that's something Latrobe's been doing a nice job of all game, is staying on schedule, never getting themselves in too many situations where they're dictated by down and distance of having to do something special.
2 minutes remain here in the third quarter. It's second down and 7. Wetzel will keep it himself, gets up to the 25, which is where he needed to get. He needed 7. He's going to get 7. And that'll put him over the 100-yard mark for the night as well at a 103.
Yeah, and just being able to go ahead and use his vision and his power to find a nice little seam on the offensive right-hand side there. And Nike steps up, but unfortunately, for Norwin, that's just a little bit too deep and too much before the tackle's made.
First down and 10 now for
Let's go, D!
the Wildcats. Trips here to the near side. A little confusion defensively as it's going to be a handoff anyways to Prhovic. Prhovic gets up to the 30. He's going to fall forward to the 31, and we'll give him 5 yards. Just a quick one here, Brian, in the third quarter, 18-14. North Allegheny over Penn Hills. That's a close game there in the third quarter. Not what you would expect from North Allegheny.
Yeah, and it's just one of those nights that, again, welcome to high school. Anything can happen.
Prhovic gets the carry again here, and Norwin will see North Allegheny here in a few weeks. They'll travel up there on the 20th for a 7:30 tilt with the Tigers up in one of the nicer facilities in high school football.
That it is, yeah. Definitely a nice facility, and it's going to be a good football game, good environment, and, one that you can't be looking at that game, though. You got to be able to.
But not sure that we'll be at that game, Brian. There's a chance we may be at Bell Vernon and Thomas Jefferson for that game. 20 seconds remain here in this third quarter. It's a 28-14 lead for the Wildcats, and it's going to be Wetzel to keep it himself. Gets to the 40 to 45, and will ride DeFazio up to the 50. They'll mark him all the way to the 49.
Yeah, and it almost looks like Latrobe's trying to hurry up and get to the ball to try to get. Oh, that was a late substitution. No.
And it's going to go to 0, so it doesn't matter, Brian. And we will go to the final frame here from the Knights Castle. The Wildcats lead it by 2 scores on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices. Located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart, Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
East Suburban Sports Medicine Center, Western Pennsylvania's #1 physical therapy practice since 1984, is always offering same-day or next-day appointments for all new patients. With 8 convenient locations and extensive therapy services, ESSMC offers the best care anywhere, hands down. Call 412-856-8060 or visit ESSMC.com to schedule today. ESSMC Physical Therapy. Your health, your decision.
For the latest Westmoreland County High School football scores tonight, follow us on X at Westmoreland SN or check out our score tracker on our website, westmorelandsports.com. Both are updated frequently throughout the night, so you can get the most up-to-date scores on all of our Westmoreland County games. A nice pass dropped right into the hands of Andy Tash. Will make it a big gain and put the Wildcats inside the red zone, and Andy Tash immediately cramps as he comes down with that ball.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that we were talking about. Latrobe has the fortune right now of being up 2 scores and being able to have their entire playbook open, and that's what makes someone dangerous, is whenever all of a sudden you think they're just going to go ahead and run. They saw something, obviously, and they came out and wanted to take a shot. Great job, good ball, because the coverage wasn't, Huss was there, but great job laying it in there and allowing the receiver to run underneath it, and good catch.
That's only the second completed pass for Wetzel tonight, only the 5th attempt for him on the night. They do have one touch pass from Tash to John Wetzel for 4 yards, so a total now of 40 yards passing for the Wildcats, and the Knights have 83 yards passing, but the tilt right now is the 372 total yards of offense and 332 yards for the Wildcats. They're averaging 8.3 yards per carry right now, Brian, where the Knights are at 5.2, but 4.5 minutes of possession right now per possession for the Wildcats to the Knights 2.
Yeah, it just been obvious as we're watching the game that right now Latrobe's doing exactly what they wanted to come in and do. One of the keys to the game we were talking about was who was going to control the line of scrimmage and who was going to control the run game, and by far, Latrobe's been able to do that. And it's believe it or not, I think I've been more impressed with the fact that it's not just all Tash. Don't get me wrong, Tash is running his tail off and finish and run, same with Wetzel, but I like the fact that they're rotating through some other backs as well, getting them significant touches in key situations.
Handoff this time is going to go to Prahovic. Tried to go up the left side, bounced back to the middle, and is going to be wrapped up for no gain.
Yeah, Prahovic did a nice job just trying to scramble back to the line of scrimmage and trying to make something happen. He almost did. But Norwin able to go ahead and get that to a no gain. And for, if they could stack this, that puts them in a situation for the first time in a while that we could have a situation where Latrobe finds themselves behind an off schedule.
Central Catholic right now leads Woodland Hills 35-7. As Wetzel will fake this ball and keep it himself to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, nice job there. So that trips to the boundary type situation, and so what they end up doing there is basically faking that little quick screen into that flat, but then running to the same side. And Wetzel, nice job weaving himself through. And Brzeski does a nice job breaking on the original pass, but then working through some block to go ahead and make that tackle.
I stand corrected. It's now 38-7 Central Catholic over Woodland Hills. They just hit a 38-yard field goal, did the Vikings. Norwin will face off against them here at home later this season. And looks like a busted play there for a second. Brian Wetzel will keep it himself, but it will spin enough and well enough for a first down. He only needed to get 4 yards, and he's going to get about 5.
Yeah, and a nice job by Wetzel understanding where the leverage was in the formation and being able to go ahead and say, all right, hold on, if this one is unscripted and it was a little bit busted up, he was able to go ahead and still follow the blocking scheme and be able to get positive yards enough to get that first down.
First and goal from the 5 for the Wildcats. They look to improve to 3-0. It'll be the first time that they go 3-0 since 2005. As a handoff to Prahovic. Prahovic tries to bounce outside, has some space, goes to the corner of the end zone and gets into the end zone. Touchdown for Brady Prahovic.
Yeah, just good running there. Because what he does, again, is he's able to go ahead and set up as if, he's going to go ahead and take it up vertical right for the goal line, but then sticks his foot in the ground, makes it able to bounce out, then uses his speed to go ahead and get to the pylon. Unfortunately, we got a Knight down on the sideline, and I'm not sure if that's Zach Paulin.
Kick is up and good. Makes it 35-14. Greater Latrobe. 9:13 remaining in this ballgame here on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
East Suburban Sports Medicine Center, Western Pennsylvania's #1 physical therapy practice since 1984, is always offering same-day or next-day appointments for all new patients. With 8 convenient locations and extensive therapy services, ESSMC offers the best care anywhere, hands down. Call 412-856-8060 or visit ESSMC.com to schedule today. ESSMC Physical Therapy. Your health, your decision.
Drive like a champion with Bowser Chevrolet of Monroeville. You're always on the winning team with Bowser Chevrolet. Visit BowserChevrolet.com 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and get the power of Bowser in your hands. Customize your payments, apply for financing, get a value for your trade and more with the Bowser Express Store. See the full lineup of Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs at BowserChevrolet.com. Bowser Chevrolet, where the power of Bowser is yours.
Touchback by the Wildcats, and Norwin will start with their first possession of the fourth quarter that starts at 9:13 at the 20-yard line. And Brian, I was just looking over the scoring plays here in this ball game. Latrobe has scored in every quarter in this ball game. They scored 2 touchdowns in the first quarter, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, and now 1 in the fourth. Norwin has 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, which brings us to this 35-14 lead for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and that, like I said, that's a good goal to have, and try to go ahead and get points on every quarter.
Tavares looks to throw, pressure's on, he spins out of Tash's. Tackle there for a moment. They're going to call that a lateral? Now they're going to call it incomplete.
Yeah, and it was one of those things that I think Tristan was thinking that he was going to have enough arm strength to be able to get it to him, and Tash was just spinning him around, and again, just a strong person that's able to go ahead and take all of Tristan's power away, if you would. Unfortunately for Norwin, that wasn't considered a lateral.
Yeah. Second down and 10 now for Norwin. As Tavares looks to throw again. Wants to go all. He's got Potter Brzeski, and Potter Brzeski's tackled before the play. The Latrobe defender there puts his hands up like, what did I do? And that defender was Vince Gasky, and Gasky just ran through Potter Brzeski.
Yeah, and Tristan did a nice job seeing single coverage. Potter had a little bit of press on him, able to get a nice release, and Tristan airing that one out and was going to be able to put it right in the basket, but then D-back was running up through the receiver there and gets called for the PI.
Looked like almost Brzeski was trying to adjust himself to the pass. Looked like it might have been a little bit underthrown, and his cleat might have gotten stuck on the 40-yard line, but nonetheless, Gasky ran right through him.
Yeah.
15-yard penalty to spot the ball at the 35-yard line now.
Yeah, nice thing seeing Pauling out there after the cramping issue.
This one completed to Leonard across the 40 to the 41 for 6 yards.
Yeah, and if you're Latrobe right now, that's what you want to do. You want to keep all passes in front of you and rally to the tackle and keep them at short yards and no big strikes, especially when you're up 3 scores.
How many wide receivers do you see wear a cowboy collar, Brian?
He's setting a new trend, anything.
Second down and 4. Tavares throws it underneath, and it's caught by Jake Knight coming across the middle. Up to the 50-yard line, so 10 yards on the completion, and a Norwin first down.
Yeah, and so again, what ends up happening there is Tristan does a nice job, doesn't really panic in the pocket there, steps up, climbs the ladder, and finds his favorite target, Knight.
Pauling checks in, and Brzeski goes out.
I think they're just going to flip sides.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you on that. First down and 10 right at midfield. Looking to throw. Once Brzeski again. This time he just lasered it instead of lofting it. I don't know if that ball might have slipped on Tristan or not, but I think if he airs that out, Potter might be in the end zone.
Yeah, it looks like, Tristan would probably want that one back, but he did have pressure at his feet right there as he's going to go ahead and make that throw. And so just, one of those ones that's going to happen. Maybe got some residual rain on the ball from the rain that we had earlier.
It's not raining at the moment. It came down pretty good there for a little bit in the third quarter.
Yeah, and sometimes those balls stay in circulation. They can stay wet for a while.
Wanting to throw it again. I think he thought Brzeski was going to go further. Now we'll throw to Pauling, and we'll go incomplete. Probably had some room to run there, too, if he really wanted it. We'll bring up a third down and 10 right at midfield.
Yeah, so he definitely was looking on the single on the boundary side there, and whenever he saw Potter settling down, didn't like it. And I think it was covered there by Tash being able to be in that alley, and so works over to his other receiver, which is impressive again for Tristan, just showing his experience of being able to go to multiple reads, and that time give Latrobe credit, they had everything covered and put Norwin at a 3rd and 10 here.
And I think at this time of the game, it's probably 4-down territory for Norwin. Probably don't have to get it all right here and would have to go for it on 4th. But they look like they want to go for it all. Complete to Gio Rochrauf here on the near sideline, and we'll complete it for about 7 yards, and we'll set up a 4th down and 3.
Yeah, so, use the motion and try to sell the back out of the backfield, who's Rotroff in this case, is going to go up the seam on him. But G realizes that the leverage isn't there, settles it down, able to get a positive gain there, make it 4th and, manageable here. Watch for the hard count, too. And then
4th and 3 here. Nobody really deep at all for Greater Latrobe. Quick curl route here, complete to the near side to Jake Knight to the 35-yard line. So 1st down for Norwin on the 8-yard completion.
Yeah, and again, nice job by both sides. No one flinching on any type of hard count, and then Tristan just working the single side on the boundary side, working the one-on-one game. And right now he got basically one-on-one with a little bit of under coverage and Tash. So see if he stays with Knight or works the trip side.
Looks to keep throwing. Good time. Now will go down the seam and just overthrows Knight.
Yeah, Tash does a nice job right there, too, because he goes ahead and he shows blitz, but then bails out of it, and Tristan doesn't take the bait. And Jake did a nice job stemming through there to get a nice, nice release and had a nice post lane. But again, just, unable to connect on that a little bit high on the delivery.
What used to be one of my favorite plays ran by Norwin, even back in your coaching days, is when the tight end would run that seam pattern. The Stephen Petricks of the world, Remy Logises of the world. Looking to throw again. Has Brzezinski wide open, and Brzezinski catches it for a touchdown. 35-yard completion to the sophomore, and a touchdown.
Honestly, you got a 23 Gasky playing corner. I mean, if you think about this, poor kid in this drive had 3 different receivers come at him, running them deep. And that time, Brzezinski is just able to take advantage of the situation and gives him a nice a little stutter and go action, breaks wide open, and Tristan, nice ball delivery, and gives a little bit of life there to Norwin.
7 Pfeiffer will attempt the point after from the hold of Pauling and the snap of Gayu. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, and kick is wide right. No good. 35-20. The Wildcats lead it here with 7:14 remaining in this 4th quarter.
For over 25 years, Huss Chiropractic has stood as a trusted and experienced provider of chiropractic care in Western Pennsylvania. Huss Chiropractic combines award-winning expert care with compassion to provide personalized treatment plans to meet your individual needs. Don't be sidelined with pain. Allow Huss Chiropractic to help tackle your pain and get you back in the game. Contact us today by calling 724-879-4385. Trust the award-winning care at Huss Chiropractic. And remember, don't let pain adjust how you live. Live well adjusted.
D'Annunzio's has been making family favorites for almost 50 years. Of course, we have our classic pizza, pasta, and chicken dishes, but we also have luncheon and dinner specials selected by our kitchen staffs. We welcome you to join us at any of our 3 locations, Jeanette, Monroeville, and Latrobe. We're open 7 days a week. D'Annunzio's is on social media too. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram, and visit our website, D'AnnunziosRestaurant.com.
Latrobe playing for the onside kick here as Norwin lines up to kick things off, and it's going to be Evan Pfeiffer. And Pfeiffer will kick it off. It looked like it hit somebody up front. I think it hit Drenovich up front, and it ended up being a Latrobe up man to come up and fall on the ball at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that's almost as good as the new, it is almost like the new onside kick where you just kind of blast it and try to hit someone in that front line. So either by design or by default, Evan able to go ahead and find someone there. But fortunately for Latrobe, they're able to go ahead and cover the ball up and maintain possession.
This is the 9th possession for the Wildcats tonight. They've had the ball for a total of 26 minutes in this game, averaging a 3-minute drive per possession. Handoff. No, it's going to be Wetzel keeping himself and bringing him down in the backfield as a host of Norwin Knights.
Yeah, and Norwin, probably going to go ahead and sell out towards the run. And so in that time it paid dividends because they were able to go ahead and stall the initial action in the backfield. One of the few times Norwin's been able to do that. Paid dividends that keep them behind the sticks and now possibly off schedule. But given the situation, up 15, I wouldn't be surprised if we just see it kept on the ground, especially because you're running the ball so well.
That's only the second play that has gone for a loss for the Wildcats here tonight as they line up in the pistol.
Yeah, now veteran move to taking some time off the clock, running as much as you can.
Handoff. Bouncing outside and spinning and breaking through tacklers to the 50, 45, Tash gets to the 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown for Alex Tash, his 4th rushing touchdown of the night.
Yeah, and you could basically just say that you got a lot of people out there that weren't able to get him down. Tash, man, tip your hat to the kid. What a run! That's a backbreaker right there because you think possibly maybe you're stringing him out. Maybe you're going to go ahead and make a play for a short yard. Next thing you know, he's just breaking tackle after tackle and finding his way in the end zone.
It's a 61-yard touchdown for Alex Tash. And Augustini's kick is up and good to make it a 42-20 lead for the Wildcats. They have it on the scoreboard right now that Norwin scored that touchdown, but it is not true. It is a 42-20 lead for the Wildcats here on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Having plumbing issues? Level Green Plumbing and Heating can help. Level Green Plumbing and Heating specializes in drain and sewer service, water heater installation and repair, excavating and trenching, and if you have frozen pipes this winter, they can get that water flowing again. Level Green Plumbing and Heating is open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, with emergency service available anytime. Call 412-372-5544 or visit lgph.com.
Norwin Teachers Federal Credit Union provides full banking services to all Norwin School District employees, area businesses, Norwin students, and their families. There's a branch conveniently located inside the high school, so Norwin students can access many of these banking services. For more information, visit them online at norwinteachersfcu.org or download their mobile app. Norwin Teachers Federal Credit Union is federally insured by the National Credit Union Administration, Equal Housing Lender.
Fourth quarter action here, 42-20 is the score for Greater Latrobe. Norwin will start with this ball. 6 minutes remaining here from the 35-yard line as Sinchak took the ball about 28 yards on that return. Now Penn Trafford leads Moon 14-0 in the third quarter. Upper St. Clair final as they beat Franklin Regional 38-7. 45-7. I'm sorry, Dan, your hand was covering the 45. And Tavares will look to throw here on first down. Has Gio Rochroff bounce right off his shoulder pads and out of bounds. That's a drop, not an incomplete pass.
Yeah, and what ended up happening there, I think what Tristan was going to try to do is I think he was going to try to muscle one into Pauling on the post, and then literally at the last second he just said, you know what, no, I'm going to take the check down to Rochroff. But the unfortunate thing is he kept it a fastball. And G in that time, unfortunately unable to stop the ball, goes off his face mask, but falls for an incomplete, not an interception.
Tristan now is 10 of 23 on the night. He'll attempt his 24th pass, and he wants to go all. He's looking for his man, Knight, just between the hands of Knight. Actually had it right on spot, but just a tough adjustment for the junior wide receiver out there.
Yeah, and it is. It's a really tough adjustment, and Knight did a nice job of just trying to go ahead and keep his shoulders towards the goal line and run underneath it, just unable to really track it over his head the entire time and falls incomplete.
Now 10 for 24 on the night for Tavares. Hit on that 35-yard touchdown. Also has a 35-yard rush on the ground for a touchdown and a 10-yard scamper for a touchdown. So the junior has 3 scores here on the night. as he looks to throw on third down. Has the seam pass. There it is. Oh, and Leonard drops the ball. Brian, that was literally the play I was talking about before.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that it is. It's a great call, and you have two ways that you can actually throw it. And you can try to almost like not really lob it, but try to get over the linebackers before the safeties, or you can try to throw it like back hip, back shoulder, and that looks like what Tristler was trying to do. He's trying to basically protect him and squeeze it into that hole and throw it at that back shoulder. And Leonard did a nice job adjusting to it, just unable to keep the paws on it for the completion.
4th down and 10 for Norwin. And it'll be Tavares in an empty set. Whistle's blown, and we'll mark the play dead.
False start, offense.
Oh, we got a false. Potter Brzezinski gets a false start penalty against him. We'll march the ball back 5 yards. It will now be a 4th and 15, so add insult to injury right there.
Yeah, receiver 101. Keep your head inside, look at the ball, don't go on cadence. Potter just unable to go ahead and hold his water right there and gets called for the false start.
How many push-ups are you doing tonight?
250.
Tavares goes for it all again for Knight in stride. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown.
Great ball. And again, that time Knight didn't have to go ahead and try to arch back as much, was just able to track it over the shoulder. And honestly, perfect ball by Tristan. And Jake just hits it in stride, takes it the whole way in the end zone.
70 yards between the two. And the Knights get up back on the board. And will attempt the point after here. No, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for 2 and try to make this a 14-point game.
Yeah, so I think what they're doing is chasing the wide field goal from earlier on. So, again, gives you, if anything, just another chance to go ahead and rep an offensive play.
And I assume you'd have to have the perfect play drawn up here as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a situation that if we go back, we had this 2-point conversion. I don't want to tip a hand or anything like that, but we'll see. We'll call it after the play.
I'm going to say we're going to see a shallow cross from Josh Leonard. It's going to be an option. Haas into the end zone, gets 2 points out of it, and Norwin will come back. 42-28 now they trail to Greater Latrobe here on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Cheer on your favorite school in style this season with shirts, hoodies, caps, and a whole lot more from Logo It by L&J Spiritwear. Stop into Logo It's fully stocked store on Walnut Street in Harrison City, where you can browse the latest fits featuring Penn Trafford, Franklin Regional, Norwin, Hempfield, and Jeanette High Schools. Logo It also designs custom uniforms and apparel. Open Tuesday through Saturday or online anytime at lnjspiritwear.com.
So now you may see the extra point attempt, or the onside kick attempt here, as it's going to be Evan Pfeiffer who will attempt it. Gets a nice little bounce. It's still loose for the moment. There's a scrum for it. Norwin's pointing that they have it. And the officials will point that Latrobe has it. The up man there taking that ball was Andy Tash.
Yeah, and actually, you get what you want out of the kick, right? You want to go ahead and make sure that it's, hard to handle and make it at 10 yards, and then it takes, a while to actually get there to allow your, coverage team to be able to get down and possibly scoop it up. And, give again, Latrobe some credit there for being able to handle that loose ball and come up with it and maintain possession.
5.5 remain here on the Westmoreland Sports Network. Latrobe leads at 42-28. Tash will take the direct snap. Goes right. Has room across the 50 to the 45. Will get brought down just across the 40. They'll mark him down to the 40.
Yeah, and it's not going to be any surprise. They're going to keep on feeding, Tash, Wetzel, run game. And, try to grind out this clock. And right there, again, nice job of just being able to go ahead and say, hey, we're not hiding anything. It's just man-on-man football. And Latrobe's up to the task and able to get a first down and, keep the clock running.
Tash is holding his right shoulder again and is also stretching. So you may not see much of Alex Tash anymore. He's already got 253 yards rushing tonight and 4 touchdowns. As this one's going to be Prohovic, and Prohovic's actually going to lose a yard on this carry.
Yeah, so again, it's that line of scrimmage play that we've been talking about. And so when Norwin's been able to be successful, it's whenever they get deep penetration early, shooting gaps now because you have to, and able to go ahead and get that ball carrier down before the line of scrimmage, putting them behind the sticks. But again, Latrobe, feeling pretty good right now that they're able to go ahead and take some time off and milk as much of this as they can here, try to shorten the game.
Pistol formation for the Wildcats as it's Prohovic getting the call. Gets up to the 40, back the initial line of scrimmage, and will fall forward up to the 43. So give him 4.
Yeah, give Prohovic a lot of credit, too, because right now Tash has been the bell cow, and Wetzel's, been carrying it. But here's the deal. At the end of the game, as we're seeing, you have some crampage and you got some, nicked up, fatigued bodies. And what Latrobe's able to do is put these fresh legs in. And so now, fresh legs in the fourth, that's what you want. And, it's paying dividends for them because they're able to negate some of these, behind the line of scrimmage type tackles, getting back and keeping the ball rolling and, milking up the time.
Unofficially, 423 yards rushing for this Wildcats team.
It's impressive.
3rd down and 7 for them. Tash has 253 of them. This will actually be a handoff on the end around, and getting cut underneath was kicked Chris Cochran. Cochran will he lose yards? I think he'll actually lose 1 yard on that. Norwin will take a timeout. We'll keep it here.
Yeah, nice play by Sully. Sully goes ahead and reads the motion and, sells out to the run. He was able to go ahead and submarine there, and nice tackle beyond the line of scrimmage there. And 4th and 7, all of a sudden, crazier things have happened in the game of football here, especially in high school football. So you get a stop if you're the Knights and then get a quick strike. It could be a barn burner.
They're actually going to say no gain here on 4th down. On the 3rd down play, so it'll be 4th down and 7. 3:12 remains.
Yeah, this is a big, big down on both sides because obviously if you're Latrobe, you're trying to get that first down. Now the question is, do you think if you're Latrobe, can you run it far enough? They have been. They're averaging significant yardage, but in this situation, do you trust that or you try to throw it? Or?
As a team, they're averaging 8.5 yards a carry, which would get them the first down. But Alex Tash is dealing with some cramps and also shoulder injury. And they're going to get Norwin to jump. That's usually Norwin's specialty.
Yeah, really nice job, too, because what you end up doing, you come out of the timeout, you give them enough eye candy of moving people here, moving people there. So, Norwin's got some younger talent coming in here right now. And unfortunately, what ended up happening is for Norwin is they jump. But good news, I guess, if you're Norwin, is it didn't give them a first down, but now you put them in that comfort zone of 4th and short. And
well, now you can definitely run the ball here. Yeah. It's going to be a 4th and 2.
Yep.
And that's a very short 2, at least from our angle.
Yes.
Empty set for John Wetzel, the senior quarterback, who will be a Thundering Herd member next year. He's going to go outside, easily get the first down to the 25 to the 20, gets up to the 15.
Yeah.
Brian, that should pretty much all but put the nail in the coffin right there.
Yeah, it pretty much does because, what you don't want to see on 4th and 2 is seeing your secondary making a stop, and that's what happened. But sometimes, what you do is you try to sell out, try to make a special play behind the line of scrimmage, and in doing so, sometimes you give up some lane integrity. And Wetzel, just being a good athlete, able to bounce it, use his speed, and, just keeping it so that way they can maintain the ball and possibly run out the clock.
18 yards on that carry. First down and 10 from the 15. Handed to Prohovic. Prohovic dances his way forward. 4 yards for Prohovic.
Yeah, Prohovic doing a nice job reading the guard. The guard's coming, pulling around. And, we go ahead and you see Norwin go ahead and stuff in that, but Prohovic makes a good cutoff. It doesn't try to, follow him too much because he sees that the guard's getting kind of washed down. So he sticks his foot in the ground and be able to keep it up inside and gets a good gainer there on first down.
Under 2 minutes now here in this final quarter of action. Latrobe leads it by 2 scores and threatening to get one more. Empty set for the senior, and fumble! Ball's loose, but he fortuitously falls on top of it.
Yeah, and so Connor Uri there is able to come in and force a fumble, and we you can see that there was a couple knights and a couple white shirts there, but the ball just bounced kind of right back to Alex in that case, and Wetzel's able to go ahead and scoop it in and maintain possession.
And timeout taken by Norwin. We'll keep it here with 1:32. Norwin will stay here next week as they start conference play against the Seneca Valley Warriors here in Northern Knights Stadium, and the Greater Latrobe Wildcats, they will head to Franklin Regional next week for a conference matchup.
Yeah, and so as we're wrapping this one up, we kind of see what direction this is going. And so now both teams, Latrobe's got to try to spin this momentum and keep it rolling into conference play, where Norwin's got to figure out, hey, what went well, what didn't go so well, and try to correct it and get this team refocused and revitalized, if you would, for Seneca Valley when they come in for the conference opener.
I'm sorry, they're the Raiders, not the Warriors. I thought I said something wrong there. Handoff to Prahovic on 3rd down and long, and we'll get back to the 15. We'll get up to the 14. And Norwin will take another timeout.
Yeah, and sometimes, these timeouts pay 2 respects, right? You can, you're stopping the clock, but you're also getting a chance. You got some bodies that have been out there for a while, so you get a chance to, get some rest, get some water into them, and then also be able to coach them up because, in this situation, it doesn't look too bright for the Knights. However, all of a sudden you get that same fumble. If that was a scoop score situation, you just never know what can happen. And,
could you imagine what would have ensued after that?
Oh, yeah, that would have been obviously a game changer. But that's I've had too many high school experiences where kind of thought the game was taken care of, and then next thing you know, you find out that the script just gets flipped and something special happens. So we'll see what happens here.
So it'll be 4th down and 9 after the 3-yard carry from Prahovic, and an empty set for the senior quarterback. He's met in the backfield initially and dances out of it. Huss tries to come up and make a stop. Now it's going to be Pauling and Sinchak. Ball's on the ground again, fumbles forward.
Yeah, and that's one of those things. That ball fumbles, and again, he's probably stretching and trying to he knows it's 4th down, trying to maybe get the 1st down, and is unable to. But there's a situation, that bounces the other way. There's a possibility for a scoop score.
They needed 9. He only got 8. In the fumble forward, it goes back to the spot of the fumble, not where the ball rolls out of bounds. So it's not enough for a 1st down, so it's a turnover on downs. Ball will go to the Norwin 7 with 1:15 remaining.
Yeah, and so if you're Norwin, you're looking for a quick strike right here. Trying to find a way to go ahead and get the ball down the field, and then obviously be in your hurry-up situation because you don't have any timeouts.
And they're going to go quick to Huss underneath. Huss will keep going and gets up to the 15-yard line.
Yeah, and sometimes the mindset in that is, hey, let's get our best athlete in some space. And, you're thinking about getting Huss there and possibly in this prevent look, maybe get a chance to make a couple people miss and break one. But Latrobe did a nice job of wrapping up the tackle there, making sure that didn't happen for a big one.
8 yards on that completion, no timeouts for Norwin, under a minute to play. Empty set for Tavares. He wants to go, and he's going to find Pauling here up to the 24-yard line. And Latrobe keeps him in, and the clock will stop momentarily to reset the sticks.
Yeah, and a nice job by Latrobe keeping Pauling in bounds and keeping that clock running.
7 yards on the completion. Tavares steps up, pump fakes twice, now looks around. He's taking way too much time here to get this thing going, and it'll get to Cooper Wilson, incomplete.
Yeah, and honestly, it's better off that Cooper dropped it, given the fact that, how much, the time is an issue right now. You have a lot of people deep, and even if he catches that one.
We got another cramp issue down here for Latrobe.
Yeah, and it's not a fun thing getting those cramps, and there's some of them happening on the field, and I'm going to be willing to bet you're going to see some of these boys in about an hour, maybe on their car ride home, having a cramp as well. And so
that's never a good feeling, man. I have always hated cramps. Always feels like, a golf club hit you in the back of the leg the next day.
It's like a rite of passage, though. Like, you have to go through the cramping situation to really appreciate the game. Especially, in these situations here, you're seeing a lot of these players going on both sides of the ball. And so you think about how many snaps some of these players have played. Their bodies are fatigued, and so just part of maturing as a player.
Tim Myers is the one who was injured for Latrobe. He gets up and jogs off. 18 seconds remains. There's somebody out talking to the elite official here, and I'm wondering if they were going to say, hey, we just need to get this game going here. It doesn't matter of injuries at this point. We got 18 seconds. I'm guessing there's probably another storm front moving in.
Yeah. And you saw them even trying to wind the clock before the sticks were set. And
swing out to Huss. Huss, 30, 35, steps out at the 36. So 12 yards for him.
Yeah, and so, Huss being able to go ahead and make the completion there, get out of bounds, and give Norwin another play here with 12 seconds left.
And Tavares will throw quick again to Pauling. 42 to the 44 now, stretching forward.
And that should probably – oh, no, I think – did he say he got out of bounds? So I guess they're stopping the clock, saying he got out of bounds.
They are going to give 9 yards on that reception to Pauling, his second reception of the night. 17 yards for him, and the clock stops with 6 seconds. And Tavares steps up, throws underneath, and it's caught by Cooper Wilson. Spins out of a would-be tackler at the 45, and is eventually going to go down where he caught the ball on the final play of the game at the 42-yard line.
Yeah, and so, Latrobe put on a great performance here tonight. Super impressed, with the entire squad, not just the duo in Waltz and Taft, but man, talk about just a complete team play, well-played game, and one that's going to be, giving a lot of people headaches as they move on through this 5A schedule.
Yeah, and as we said, Latrobe next week will go to Franklin Regional for a conference matchup in the Big East, 5A Big East between those two. And Franklin Regional did not play well tonight. They got smoked tonight. A 45-7 final score there. This one a 42-28 final score for Greater Latrobe. Norwin will stay at home next week as they take on the Raiders of Seneca Valley as they start 6A play again for the first time in a few years. And it is Latrobe advancing to 3-0 for the first time since 2005. So you do the math. That's 19 years since the last time they started the season 3-0.
Yeah, and you got to be excited for it, man. I mean, that's something that, you always like to be a part of, quote-unquote, history or a special team. And right now, Latrobe has the making of that, and you got to feed off that. And, give them credit because they're coming around, and they got a well-balanced team that has a lot of people that can attack on the offensive side, and I like how they fly around on the defensive side.
And then for them tonight, I'm sorry, I was kind of lost my train of thought there. When I was going back and going through all of the different seasons to find the 2005 record in there was a few seasons where in a row there was one winless season, there was one win season, there was a couple 2-win seasons in there. So since 2005, Latrobe has been through the ringer.
Yeah.
And they're doing a bunch of jumping jacks there on the field right now to keep everybody loose. As Coach Ron Prady and his team celebrates, and they'll get looking forward to a matchup with Franklin Regional next week.
Yeah, and that should be a good matchup for them. And it's going to be something that, it's going to be exciting to follow them throughout the rest of this season, because I was impressed. Tash, man, that's a running back that's, is going to be hard for a lot of teams to stop, especially whenever the line's being able to go ahead and open up seams and gaps for him. Has a great complement piece in Wentz there and Alex. And so, I'm sorry, with Wetzel. And so...
You're fine.
Thinking of Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz, who you saw last night. Yeah. Looking at the stats for tonight's matchup, the Wildcats of Greater Latrobe end up with 489 unofficial total yards. 449 of them were on the ground. They were averaging 8.2 per carry. They carried the ball 55 out of the 61 plays that they ran here tonight, Brian. 8 yards per play. They possessed the ball 10 times for 31.5 minutes, averaging 3 minutes per drive. Norwin ended up with 269 yards passing. 70 of them came on that touchdown to Jake Knight. But Tristan Tavares ends up 16 of 32 for 269 for averaging 16.8 per completion. They only rushed the ball for 119 yards as a team. But you know what, Brian? I want to bring that up in the pregame. And even though this isn't a win for Norwin, where they stand at this point last year, I did the math with the 4 main rushers that we've had this year, Sinchak, Tavares, Huss, and Rothschild. Through the entire season, they ran the ball for 399 yards. Coming into tonight, those four, had combined for 405 yards rushing. Add on another 119 tonight. So they're up, 500 and, I'm not a math guy, but what did I say, 405 coming in tonight?
Yes.
So, yeah, they're over 500 yards rushing. 520, 530 yards rushing here on the season, which is a massive turn of events for the way that they played the ball last year.
Yeah, and it's something that you definitely can go ahead and say, all right, hey, the whole game, you don't like this scoreboard, but it's not a complete, loss. All right, what are the things that we're doing well, and don't let one game define you? What are the things we've been doing well all season? And, as we're speaking and talk about the run game, one of the things that I'm liking that I'm seeing is I'm down here looking at the track, and I can see that Latrobe's, recognizing their linemen right now. And that's 100% what you got to do, because if you want to have a good running attack, it's nice to have those people that you hear the names called out, when they're getting, rush after rush or score after score. But a lot of it is the up front. And give Latrobe credit. Those guys right now, they're getting interviewed down on the track. Those young men, were a significant piece of the puzzle for the win tonight. And tip your hat to Latrobe.
So Norwin ends up falling here 42-28. They had 2 scores, though, in the fourth quarter. And in pretty short time, at the 7:14 mark and the 5:28 mark, and one of them added a 2-point conversion. There was a missed extra point in there from Pfeiffer, but making the score 28-42. So I guess you can hang your hat on that a little bit if you're Norwin. If you're Latrobe, you got to feel great about how this game turned out for you. And hopefully, if you're a Wildcats fan, you're hoping Alex Tash is okay. We didn't see him much in there in the fourth quarter. Didn't really need to see him in the fourth quarter, but was battling some cramping issues. He was holding his shoulder. He did get labrum surgery, I found out, over the offseason. And so, 1 or 2 stingers in that right shoulder, and you know how that feels.
Yeah.
Getting the stinger, and add on the surgery, I'm sure it cannot feel great.
Yeah, he's another one. He's on the 40 right there getting interviewed, and I'm sure it's going to be a situation where he's never going to be at 100%. But what he's going to be able to do is just find the mental toughness to go ahead and grind through it, and it's going to be exciting to watch the kid's future.
This might be one of the longest post-game on-field speeches Mike Brown has given to Norwin this season. It definitely is this season, and I can't tell if it's out of anger, but Norwin, you can bet we'll have the 24-hour clock, and might even be shorter than that, and shake it off, watch the film on Sunday, and move on to Seneca Valley for next week. For my Dan, you got something to add?
I just want to pass along some scores.
Sure, go right ahead.
Am I allowed to do that?
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
You are the boss. You
no,
run this show.
but this is your show tonight, baby.
Nope.
So
go ahead, Dan. We'll bring in Dan Flickinger here.
Yeah, we actually just got word Apollo Ridge and Greensburg Central Catholic suspended due to weather. GCC was leading 28-21 at halftime. The game will not be resumed, of course. Ligonier Valley leading Jeanette 27-20, end of the third quarter. Mount Pleasant 23, Burrell 13. That's a final. Penn Trafford now 14-7 over Moon, fourth quarter. North Allegheny defeats Penn Hills in a big matchup tonight, 18-14. Deer Lakes 34, Derry 12. That's a final. At last check, Greensburg-Salem was hammering Valley 43-6, so the Golden Lions are going to go to 3-0. Dave mentioned Upper St. Clair 45-7 over Franklin Regional. Southmoreland 49, Laurel Highlands 13. That is a final. And I know you mentioned earlier, too, Dave, Central Catholic, at last check in the second quarter, was hammering Woodland Hills 32-7, and that's a Woodland Hills team that's supposed to be pretty good this year.
That game actually was a 35-7. I have somebody at the game that was texting me.
There you go. So 35-7. Yeah, either way, I mean, that's a little surprising. I know Central Catholic's an all-star team and all. Hope I don't get in trouble saying that. But yeah, I mean.
Hempfield just resumed play, by the way. And I'm not sure if you mentioned that.
Oh, yeah, they were in a lightning delay. I think they were leading, right? Sure, 28-10.
You're
over Kiski area.
The esteemed mother of
yes.
Dan Flickinger.
She's all over it.
And we're coming up on her birthday soon, are we not?
It's in October, yes.
Yep.
She'll be happy you mentioned that.
It's one of my favorite broadcasts to wish happy birthday to Miss Shirley Flickinger. We love her and all the work she does. Have anything else here to add, Dan?
Well, I was going to say, I mean, my family is good friends with the Brzeskis, with your parents, Brian. We grew up close to one another.
Yes.
You were a Blairsville Bobcat. My family, Derry Trojans, although my mom went to Blairsville.
Yes.
But so, yeah, we got to throw that tie in there.
Yeah, it's always nice reminiscing about old times.
That's right.
So.
All right, Dave, that's all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
For our camera operator here tonight, Chris Smith, our executive producer, director, everything, Dan Flickinger, also giving you the scores. Let's just give him the Swiss Army man for the night. Our producer back, getting us everything that we need here for the night, Miss Shirley Flickinger, from my partner, Brian Brzeski. I'm Dave Franzak saying so long from the Knights Castle. We'll see you next week here again as the Knights will play host to Seneca Valley. Good night and get home safely.